Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto scares the council Sasuke bashing. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Grenadier and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Shinobi World War 5 Cage Battlefield. K-Song Your Love by the Outfield. Damn you all. You killed Hokage-sama. Screamed the current Hokage of the Hidden Leaf as a kunai pierces the burned limb of the Iwagakure Tsuchikage. Us? How dare you? We didn't kill Naruto-sama. He died of old age, you idiot. It's you who killed Kuretsuchi-sama, that Tsuchikage screams as he dodges a volley of shuriken and a few fire jutsus. In the battlefield lay 3 dead Kages, each of the major villages Kiri, Kumo and Suna's Kages all lay dead, where they launched their last attack as the current Hokage and Tsuchikage duke it out in a final battle. The last 2 strongest soldiers around. As the Hokage and Tsuchikage collide in one last full-strength clash. The 2 Kages never even notice or see when blackened and shadowed swords impale into their backs, pinning them to one another as the all-midnight black shadowed figures rise from the shadows of the Kages laughing. Enough blood had been spilled to taint the realm with Bel's evil. The shinobi world didn't know what hit it as the beasts leak in through tears, slaughtering everything they see. Men, women, children, the family dog. All of them are slaughtered like cattle as the chaos engulfs the elemental nations, leaving it a barren wasteland void of life in all forms. The attack took years, but after a grueling 33 full years the entirety of the elemental nations was lifeless. No life would return and no life would be reborn, the planet was dead. The events leading to this were the Fourth Shinobi War, which took out nearly 40% of all life in the form of its shinobi, weakening the life force and power of the world. As peace set in with Madara's death, prosperity was present everywhere. Life soon returned to normal and the numbers of the lost soon were replaced. But as time goes on, things change. They always change. Change must come to ensure life, just as all life changes with time. So too do values and morals. People and animals. As Naruto and the Kages age and elect new leaders, they soon are left to retirement. Only nothing is as it seems. One by one, Zetsu, enraged at his mother's death, had merely baited them with a clone and hid. He hid and made sure they forgot. One by one he slowly changed form to one of the new Kages and slaughtered the retired shinobi without remorse. The voices called to him told him how to do it. Told him it needed to be done. It had to save his mother. As he devoured the flesh and blood of Naruto, the Kyuubi had been released and immediately put into a Jinjutsu, making it rampage once more around the elemental nations, conjuring storms, shattering mountains and drying up entire oceans. The chaos bred fear and hatred. The fear soon led to fights. The fights led to battles and battles lead to war. The war had been bloody and disastrous, slaughtering 60 million souls in the most gruesome of ways. Men ripped to shreds, women raped and killed, sometimes in the reverse order. Blood soaked the earth and the planet wept as it was slowly being scared and killed by the shinobi, who were mercilessly killing each other over Zetsu's plan. Zetsu sitting back, Nad laughing as he finally sees this, knowing that soon the beasts would be free. Nad, he could merely capture them to release her once more. As the 2 Kages finally clash, he sees the shadows and hears a voice thank him, only to have his life ended as his entire being is burned to ash instantly. A large towering demon rising from the ashes as the earth itself crumbles away to make room for this titan. The demon stands easily as tall as the mountains surrounding Kumo. 6 arms, each once placed like a spider's, as the large demonic head sits upon the skeletal towering figure. A large hole open in his head, spewing fire and death as well as his mouth. The demon leads its army on this crusade. The tainted icon had succeeded. All without the gods able to do anything about it. As the last life dies to the hands of his demons, the icon of true sin and evil bellows and opens a rift once more, leaving the world behind to rot, forever staking his claim as this world's destroyer. The demons soon follow, never knowing just what they had brought upon themselves with this one simple act. Kami's realm. Oh man, I'm so bored, Kami said as she stops the images from coming in her crystal ball. Well, what do you want me to do about it, Ni-chan? Said the Shinigami. Nothing, Amato. I just want to have a bit of fun. These alternate universes and the heroes are kind of strange. It's boring cause it's all the same. Kami groaned out as she lays back in her chair. Well, what do you expect them to do? Have them move time to do things differently? How are they gonna move time when they're standing in it, you dumbass? Shinigami yells. Shut up, Shin. I don't need to belittle by my baby sister. What's going on in Naruto's universe? Kami asked, a little annoyed. Oh, he's doing fine sorta. The death god speaks, making Kami raise an eyebrow at that. What do you mean he's sorta doing fine? Kami asks her little sister. Well, he settled for that Hyuga heiress and has 2 children. Sasuke is with Sakura and both Kakashi and Naruto forgive him, Obito and even Madara. After nearly 40% of the ninja had died in the Fourth Shinobi War. Kagaya was raised from the dead to create the Juubi and Madara had absorbed it. He died in the end, but yeah, the damage was already done. But the worst part is what happened after. She replies. Oh me, what the fuck happened? Kami asks Shin. Well, Belial kind of got to the realm. After the murders of the 5 previous cages, Naruto-kun included the entirety of the elemental nations went bloodthirsty. The entire shinobi forces of that world was killed in just a few short years, all 60 million of them. It left them wide open for his taint, and the civilians stood absolutely no chance. We fucked up sis badly. Shin said, seeing the color leave her sister's face. Shit, after all that, we'll be lucky to keep our lives, let alone our jobs. Also, Hinata, really? Did Naruto-kun really settle for her? That's stupid. Okay, I'm redoing that entire universe. Things were not supposed to end up that fucked. We were watching too many universes. Things need to be repaired so we don't piss off you know who. So Shin, who can we get to the Naruto universe to help him? Kami asks, a little pissed off at how Naruto's life had ended up. Looking into the future of that current universe, as soon as the 5 cages of their respective villages dies, Naruto included, new wars begin and end all life in the elemental nations after a few dozen years. Knowing this will not be good if it isn't fixed right now. I don't know, Ni-chan, what about you know who's chosen soldier? Shinigami replies, shrugging her shoulders. What do you mean? Oh, you mean him? The Dimension Walker. Yes, I feel he could be useful to our little Naruto-kun. I'll bring him here immediately. But you know what he's going to ask for, right? Kami implies as her hands begin to glow silver while she begins running through hand signs. Well, it's either that or we train him ourselves. And you know what, I'd be teaching him MMM. Shinigami chuckles, a little red in the face while licking her lips. Kami just sighs and shakes her head as she finishes the hand signs and slams her hands on the ground as a bright light erupts from the spot. Kami just smiles and yells. Kami no er plusu. Jaijin Shmetsu. God release. Dimensional transcendence. Hello, Wander. Glad you could make it. Make yourself comfortable. What am I doing here, false ones? This better be fucking important. And I sure as hell mean not like what you wanted when you asked for last time. The mysterious man says. Well, that's just a child. We do have a very demanding request of you. It is very important to the very existence of a realm. You see, we have need of you to watch over a child of prophecy and train him to ensure he can not only live a long and peaceful life, but make sure he is able to make and keep a lasting peace. We know the price you ask and I'm willing to pay it. Kami says with a smile. HMPH, well, if you're willing to pay that for this, it must be important. Who am I going to fucking up this time? The man asks, feeling somewhat better. Well, we have to get a child that was tortured, ignored, was neglected and had his intelligence and loyalties meddled with by the use of seals and make him someone normal. You may train him in anything you wish to, and we will say nothing about it no matter what it is. He just needs to be strong enough to fight a tier 2 a class warrior. Shinigami said, the sorrow evident in her voice. So you mean make him into a normal everyday jackass who can fight when needed? Well, alright, I'll do it. But you better pay up right now. Oh, and 2 things I want to make very clear to everyone in this room right now. 1, never betray me, and 2, if you so much as even critique my training of the child, I'll leave immediately. The mysterious man says towards the godlike beings. Oh pish posh, it's nothing. Now we'll also give you a few gifts. 1 is the Mokuton ability of the realm as well as shouting and knowledge of the seals so you can release them. Now let's get you prepared. Kami just smirks as her hands glow silver once more. She places her hands on the wanderer's head and smiles as the damage done to him is reversed. Once completed, the male's mouth once again starts to leak plumes of black smoke as his body once again returns to being its lithe and languid structure. The pain, it's gone. I don't feel the pain of the genetic fuckery that acid German did. The man says, rather happy. He just sighs with relief before looking at the 2 deities with a smile. Yes, it is as we said. Now then. You have 2 very rare Keki Genkai, as they call them, down on the world I'm sending you to. I have given you the knowledge to use all the gifts, but only practice will make perfect. Now then, I'll be sending you to the leader of that village to be assigned as the boy's teacher after we enjoy the show. Shinigami replies as the 3 beings return their view to the screen in front of them. Hanahagakur no Sato. Northwestern Forest. Alright, I can't believe it. I can't believe I was able to get the scroll of forbidden seals from the Hokage. Now I only need to learn 1 jutsu and I'll finally be a genin. I wonder if I can get more credit for more jutsu. Oh well, might as well give it a shot. Naruto says happily with a laugh. He returns his gaze to the scroll and begins reading through it. Not really understanding, he sighs and takes out a few scrolls and a few reading brushes with ink. He quickly and calmly copies all the jutsu he can, starting with the Kage Bushin no Jutsu, Taj Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Bushin Daibakuha, Hirashin and the Kuchiyas. Ito Tensei. Naruto just smiles some and pulls the scrolls into his kunai pouch before getting to work on the Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Okay, so the scroll says that shadow clones are solid and can relay information back to the boss, as they call it. Okay, make a cross with the index and middle fingers of both hands mul chakra and say the name of the jutsu. Maybe it can help me learn a bit better. Oh well, here I go. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Just as he screams that, nothing happens. Looking around, Naruto sighs, knowing it would take a few hours to get the technique right. Standing up, he once again begins to practice and test the jutsu till he gets it down. 3 hours go by and the sun has finally settled down behind the mountains. Naruto is seen in the small clearing of the forest near a cabin, panting and exhausted, laying against a tree. The smile on his face showing he is truly proud of himself. As he finally catches his breath, Iruka Yamino lands next to him and uses his demon head jutsu. Naruto, you idiote, what did you do? Why would you steal the forbidden scroll of seals? Huh? Iruka, I thought Mizuki was going to be giving me the secret test. Naruto replies, confused. Huh? Secret test? Mizuki? Naruto, what are you talking about? There is no secret test. Why would Mizuki grow? Never mind, Naruto. Listen, Naruto, you just stole the village's most powerful and forbidden techniques. The entire Anbu division is looking for you. Come on, maybe we can make a lie to explain all this. Iruka says, a little worried, scratching the back of his head. Mizuki told me if I steal this fake scroll in the Hokage's office and learn at least one jutsu from it, I get to pass my genin exam. Iruka-sensei. Naruto says, pointing at the large scroll leaning against the tree. Why would Mizuki lie like that? Naruto, again, there is no secret test. You're in a lot of trouble. Come on, let's explain this to the Hokage and maybe he'll go easy you. Iruka sighs as he walks over to Naruto, placing a hand on his shoulder. Naruto looks up and sighs dejectedly and nods. Suddenly a few shuriken hit Iruka inside, causing him to yelp in pain as he looks around for who threw them. Iruka holding a kunai in his hand. Alright, who's there? Come out now. Iruka yells at the treetops. Iruka's so sad you had to be here. Oh well, guess we can both do this thing. Mizuki says, dropping down in front of them both. Iruka looks surprised as Mizuki laughs some. Come now, Naruto, give me the scroll and you'll pass the test. Mizuki says. Naruto, no, don't listen to him. Take the scroll and run, he's just going to get you in trouble. Iruka yells. HMPH, Iruka is lying, Naruto. You think he really cares about you? Well, he doesn't. Listen, Naruto, would you like to know why you are hated? Why the villagers always attack and beat you, as well as why you're ignored and threatened all the time? Mizuki asks with a sly grin on his face. Naruto's eyes widen with shock. He had always wanted to know why all that happened to him. Shaking, he just takes a step back as Iruka steps forward. Mizuki, no, we aren't supposed to talk about that, it's forbidden. He cannot know. Iruka pleads to his old friend. Shut up, Iruka. Naruto, the reason the village and everyone hates you is because the 4th Hokage didn't kill the Kyuubi. No, he sealed it inside you. The reason you are treated like that is cause you are the 9-tailed demon fox, the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Mizuki screams, pointing at the child. Naruto recoils as he looks at Mizuki. Frozen in place, Naruto's mind begins running on overdrive. The looks of hatred and anger, the beatings, the animosity shown towards him. It all made sense now. Naruto's eyes tear up as he looks to Iruka. Is it true, Iruka? Is the demon sealed inside me? Naruto asks worriedly to his sensei. Yes, Naruto, the demon fox is sealed inside you. I'm sorry, Naruto, everyone tuning in up knows the secret, but we were not to tell you under penalty of death. It was for your own good so you would have a normal childhood and maybe make friends, but it didn't happen like that, sadly. Iruka says apologetically. Naruto just looks at Iruka as tears roll down his cheeks. He just stares blankly at Mizuki and Iruka. Iruka, stop lying to the demon. Come on, Iruka, we can kill him, become village heroes. Let's end him now. After all, he did kill your parents. Mizuki says, smirking at his old friend. No, I will not. Stay away from him. Iruka says, getting into his taijutsu stance. HMPH, how can you care about a demon? It doesn't matter anyway. Now die, demon child. Mizuki screams as he throws a demon wind shuriken at Naruto. As Naruto freezes up, he just waits for the shuriken to hit him. Closing his eyes, Naruto waits to feel the pain and welcomed embrace of the Shinigami. Suddenly he feels something tug at his mind, drawing him, and as time grinds to a halt. Naruto's mindscape. Drip drip drip. Huh? A sewer? How'd I get here? Naruto asks, looking around. He had something akin to a woman groaning. Shrugging his shoulders, he decides to check out what's happening. He heads down the long corridor and just follows the sounds. After a while, Naruto comes up on a rather large cage coated with papers that have the kanji for seal. Looking inside, Naruto sees a rather gorgeous woman. She stands at 5'11" with long crimson red hair reaching down to her knees. Her well-framed heart-shaped face shows pale cream skin and a small nose. Her eyes are just as red as blood with ebony black pupils and a pair of fox-like ears on top of her head. 9 flowing crimson red tails flicking and swing behind her. Her lips contort into a smile as she starts walking towards Naruto. Her DD cup-sized breasts softly jiggling in front of him with each step as her hips sway seductively. Looking at the boy, she sits down by the cage and looks at Naruto. So my jailer finally is able to visit me. This is interesting. I didn't think I'd get such a cutie pie as my container. The mysterious woman says. Naruto blushes at the compliment before asking the obvious. Huh? Jailer. Who are you, lady? I'm not cute either, I'm a demon. Naruto says a little saddened. Oh? You a demon? I don't see it. Why do you call yourself a demon, child, the woman asks. I have the Kyuubi no Yako sealed into me. I became the fox only given a human form. Please stay away. I don't want to hurt someone as gorgeous as you. Naruto replies as tears stream down his face. Oh, my jailer thinks I'm gorgeous, eh? Well, let me tell you something, child. You are not the fox. You know what sealing scrolls are, yes? The woman asks the now crying Naruto. Yeah, any shinobi that's not completely stupid knows what they are. Sealing scrolls are scrolls with Hunjutsu seals written on them, so you can store inanimate objects in them to lessen the weight of carried supplies. Things like food, bedrolls, tents and water. Naruto says, sniffling a little bit. Exactly, they also store things like katanas, kodachis, shuriken, kunai and other various weapons, and even human and demonic bodies, don't they? The woman says with a smile. Yeah, I know that already, I'm not stupid, what's your point, pretty lady? Naruto says, wiping his eyes clean of the tears. Oh, I'm pretty to I'm going to enjoy you, my little warden. My point, little one, is this. When you seal the weapon or body in the scroll, does the scroll become that object or person? She asks as she raises her hand pointing to the sky. No, that's just stupid. How would paper turn into a weapon or a body just cause a weapon or corpse is sealed inside it? Naruto says rather matter-of-factly. Exactly. Now think of the Kyuubi as a weapon and yourself as the scroll. Just because I mean the Kyuubi is sealed inside you, does that make you the kunai? The woman asks as she points at Naruto once more. No, I guess it doesn't. So I'm not the Kyuubi? Naruto asks a little hopeful. No, you aren't the Kyuubi. How can you be the Kyuubi when I'm the Kyuubi? Kyuubi says, now revealing what she is. What, you're the Kyuubi no Kitsune? Naruto shouts while pointing a finger. Yes, I'm the reason you are so hated, I'm the reason you were treated with such disdain and tortured. I'm the reason you were attacked constantly and berated and threatened. I'm so sorry that happened to you, child. Will you please listen to me and why I did what I did? The Kyuubi asks Naruto. You have 5 minutes to tell me why you attacked the village before I do something we'll both regret. I know there's always two sides to a story, so that's why I'm giving you this chance. Naruto says, a little pissed off at the demon in front of him. Okay, thank you, Naruto. Now, I wasn't attacking the village mindlessly like everyone would have you believe. I was actually pulled out of your mother Kushina Uzumaki when she gave birth to you and was weak as well as the seal. A masked man claiming to be Madara Uchiha pulled me out of your mother's seal and put me under a Genjutsu and made me attack the village. It wasn't Madara Uchiha though. I know that particular Uchiha is frozen in time, kind of like his body is in a stasis mode where he never ages. Anyway, this false Madara used the Genjutsu on me to make me attack the village and act as a diversion while he tried to kill the fourth Hokage. He ended up getting beaten by the fourth and forced him to retreat. At that point the Genjutsu was broken and your mother was too weak to have me resealed inside her. So the fourth sealed me inside you since you were an infant and the only living being alive that could contain my power. Only those of Uzumaki blood can contain my Yaokai. Well, when I was sealed inside you, the fourth used the Shiki Fujin seal that calls the Shinigami to do the sealing. He put me inside you and then added a second seal onto it to strengthen it. Your mother Kushina survived the extraction and even your birth, but she disappeared. I still had a mental link with her at the time, and before it was shattered with me being sealed into a new host, I heard a man named Danzo tell your mother that you died during the sealing and that your father died as well. Heartbroken and grieving, I only assume your mother left the village cause of the lie. And well, the rest is history. The Kyuubi says a little indifferently. Explaining all that, she sighs some and looks down at Naruto before continuing. I only hope that you can somehow find it in your kind heart to forgive me. I really didn't want this to happen to you. I'm so sorry for how you were treated as well. Think we could be friends, Naruto? The Kyuubi asks, a little bit of hope in her voice. Okay, so it's not your fault, I believe you. I know when people are lying and you definitely aren't. I believe you, Kyuubi, I also forgive you. And sure, we can be friends, you can be my first true friend. Is there anything I can do for you before I leave? Naruto says after reaching into the bars and hugging the woman. Yes, just tear off a piece of each paper at the bottom and we can talk while you're awake. Also change this place into something livable, please. You only need to think about what it looks like and it will change. Kyuubi said, smiling. Okay, Kyuubi, no problem. I just hope Iruka is okay. Oh crap, Iruka. How much time has passed since we've been here talking? Naruto asks worriedly. Calm down, cutie pie. It's barely been half a second. Time flows differently in your mind. Even if we've been in here days, barely any time would pass on the outside. Now then, just do what you promised and we can start our friendship. Kyuubi says, happily, hoping to have eased his nerves. Okay, beautiful. One new surrounding coming up. Naruto says. He quickly peels off the bottoms of the seals on the cage before the entire mindscape begins to morph. It slowly turns into an exact replica of Konohagakure with the surrounding forest. Training grounds included. The giant gate that once blocked the woman turns into a leather collar with a leash attached which wraps around Kyuubi's neck lightly. I hope that's to your liking, Kyuubi. Now I gotta go and thank you. Thank you so much. Naruto says as he hugs her tightly. The boy's body disappearing from the mindscape. With Mizuki and Iruka. The demon wind shuriken veers off heading towards Naruto as he just stands there with the scroll. Iruka seeing this leaps in the way blocking the giant shuriken taking it in the back just as Naruto comes to. Naruto seeing his sensei like this begins to turn red with rage. He looks at Mizuki as he releases some of Kyuubi's Kai at him. How dare you hurt my sensei Mizuki team. I don't care what you think. I know what I am and I'm not a demon, but I can show you how a demon would act. Taj Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. As Naruto yells that out he makes the cross hand sign and 50 other Narutos appear in the clearing all wielding kunai. They look at Mizuki and smirk. Get him boys. Naruto says as the clones begin to attack Mizuki. Mizuki takes out his second demon wind shuriken and begins attacking the clones. Popping a few out of existence he is tackled from behind and has his arms pinned. Soon 5 more Naruto clones grab hold of Mizuki pinning him to where he stands. Naruto looks at Mizuki with a look of hatred that he is so accustomed to before speaking. You know Mizuki, I'm about to prove to you what a real demon is. It's funny, I always told you and Iruka when in class how I like art since it means a moment of beauty is caught and lasts forever. But learning this jutsu showed me something. True art is an explosion. Katsu. Hidden base in a megacure. A blonde-haired woman in her mid-20s sneezes rubbing the bottom of her nose, interrupting the meeting. Adara, is there something wrong? Asks a white-haired woman with a 3-bladed crimson scythe. No, nothing is wrong, I just feel like I found the man I'm going to marry. The now identified Dadara says with a smile creeping out a few of the members around her. I feel sorry for your husband then. Try not to use those mouths of yours on him. You may accidentally blow it off. Says a giant 8-foot-tall shark-like man wielding an inhuman-sized bandaged sword. Shut up fishy-kun. Those hands are used for more than making my beautiful art. They're also for handing you your own scaly ass. The blonde Kunoichi screams. Back with Naruto. As Naruto screams this as loud as he can, Naruto makes the ram hand sign and flares his chakra. His clones all start to glow as the chakra inside them becomes unstable. When they reach critical the clones all explode at once blasting Mizuki into pieces and leaving red stains and gore to litter the forest clearing, leaving only a crater where Mizuki once stood. Then Naruto, you killed Mizuki, you used 2 highly advanced and deadly jutsu and killed him, are you feeling okay? Iruka asks astonished. Yeah, I'm fine Iruka-sensei, I feel bad that I killed him, but I had to or he would have hurt you and me and probably left the village with a scroll. Am I a monster Mizuki? Cause I don't regret killing him. Naruto asks tearing up once again. Naruto, no, you aren't a monster. You feel bad that you had to kill him. That alone means you aren't a monster. True monsters kill without regret nor remorse. They do it cause it's fun. You did it because if you didn't you would have died as well. Don't feel bad, okay? Iruka says as he hugs Naruto close to him. As he's hugging him, Hiruzen Sarutobi appears in the clearing with his Anbu guard. Iruka, please let go of Naruto. Hiruzen says to his Chunin. Okage-sama, please, it wasn't Naruto's fault. Iruka begins saying before being interrupted. I know of what happened, Iruka. I knew the whole time. Naruto is in no trouble. In fact, he is going to be paid for an A rank mission and it's going on his record as his first official genin mission. The Hokage says with a smile before walking to his adoptive grandson. How are you, Naruto-kun? Feeling okay? The elderly man asks. I'm doing fine, Jiji-san. Thank you for asking, but what do you mean? I'm not a genin, so how can I get a mission report added to my record? Naruto asks looking at the man he sees as his own grandfather. Naruto, my dear boy, I'm the Hokage. I found out your test scores and schooling was being sabotaged from the get-go. I knew it was Mizuki and I couldn't do anything or he would have made his escape. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, boy. But just know that your actions today mark you as a genin of Konohagakure no Sado. Pick up your headband tomorrow at team placements. I just met a man that, well, let's just say that he even surpasses me in strength. He wishes to be your sensei. Now then, Naruto, you're coming with me and we're going to celebrate your graduation. Nico. Hiruzen says in a commanding tone after hugging his adoptive grandson. Yes, Hokage-sama? Nico asks as she kneels. Kiri-chan, Naruto yells before tackling the purple-haired Kunoichi captain to the ground in a loving embrace. Oh Kiri-chan, I missed you so much. I've been so lonely without you while I was in the academy. Naruto says, crying tears of joy. I know, Naruto-kun, I missed you too. Nico says, patting the boy's head, giggling softly. Chuckling a bit, Hiruzen merely shakes his head before speaking. Naruto, let Nico take Iruka to the hospital, okay? He'll meet us in a few hours for the party in my office. Tiger, grab the scroll and let's go. Come on Naruto-kun, let's go buy you your new outfit and gear, okay? Hiruzen says as the Anbu operatives do what they are told. Hiruzen taking Naruto to the market district as Iruka gets treated at the hospital. Naruto's mindscape, and then I was all true art is an explosion, and then when I yelled the activation phrase Mizuki exploded into pieces. It was awesome, but also I kinda felt bad about it. Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head a little disheartened at the tale he was regaling to his tenant. Oh Naruto-kun, it'll be fine dear. The first kill is always the hardest. So long as you remember Iruka's words you'll be alright. Kyuubi speaks to Naruto patting his shoulder. Oh thank you Kyu-chan. I needed that. So anyway after that Jiji took me to the marketplace and bought me all new gear and starter kits. He even had a small party for me as congratulations. But he said that I would hate him for who he picked to be my sensei. Naruto said a little worried as he just looks around. Oh well I'm sure he just means that the sensei he picked will be strict and make you into something you should be. A fine shinobi. Kyuubi said with a smile as she hugged her container into her rather large bust. You okay I'll believe you Kyu-chan say do you have a name? I can't rightly just call you Kyuubi all the time now can I? Naruto asks while blushing a deep scarlet as he feels the soft globes of flesh squish lightly into his face. Well my cute little warden wants to know my name. Well I guess if it will help those wet dreams of yours to know my name why not? My name is Kurama. Kurama says with a giggle as Naruto nearly passes out with a full crimson blush on his face with a small trail of blood leaking from his nose. Kurama I wouldn't do that. Besides I haven't known you for too long. I don't care how gorgeous or perfect you are I still need to know you before anything like that happens, can you let me go now your boobs are kinda squishing my face. Naruto says with a slight embarrassed tone to him. Oh fine I'll let you go Mimi, but first you need to know something. I sense a rather powerful being in the village. That emotion sensing you have is from me. And although you're good I'm better. I can sense he has absolutely no hatred at all in his soul. Which is odd. Be wary of him for now Naruto-kun. I'll let you know when he's near. Now you need to wake up. It's morning and you have your team placements remember. Kurama reminds him in a motherly tone. Thanks for the heads up I'll be sure to keep an eye out and I know I'm so excited about today I'll hopefully get a good sensei just like Iruka and I. Goodbye plushie-chan. Naruto says chuckling softly as he disappears from his mindscape leaving a fuming Kurama. Naruto's apartment 6:30 am. Oh god my head hurts like hello right the party Jiji told me since I was a ninja and I was old enough to kill I was old enough to drink and he got me wasted on his special sake I love that guy. Naruto said with a chuckle jumping out of bed and heading for the shower to get himself cleaned up for the day ahead. Putting on his new cloths Naruto smiles softly examining himself in the mirror. His steel-toed black leather combat boots on his feet with a hidden switchblade in the toes fitting rather nicely as the top of the boots are covering his black Anbu-style pants. His belt having his new kunai and shuriken pouches along with scroll holders latched to his belt loops. His long-sleeve undershirt clinging to his torso rather nicely showing off his rather malnourished yet still muscular frame with an Arain Uzumaki swirl on the front and back of it. His onyx finger gloves with special weaving for ninja wire to not only armor the gloves but slide out for stealthy assassinations, seeming to fit rather snugly against his hands. Not completely cutting out orange from his uniform Naruto made sure he had a light orange vest sewn into different kanji and seals in a black and red overcoat that stretches to just past his ass. To top it all he has a wakizashi strapped to his back to make him look even more intimidating. He chuckles at the color styles he chose and speaks softly to himself and Kurama. Man Jiji was right all those years ago. If I can learn to wear kill me orange and evade his Anbu operatives, my stealth will be near undetectable. I can't believe he worked the orange vest into storage seals. How do I look Kurama-chan? Naruto asks softly wondering if he looks good enough. Oh I think you look great Naru-kun. Now be sure not to kill any girls with how good you look. Kami knows it's hard for me not to blush starting at you. Kurama speaks through the link with a slight flush to her cheeks. Okay Kurama. I gotta go. I'm meeting sensei today so I'll speak to you after all is said and done today. Maybe he'll teach me some super cool jutsu or something. Naruto said with a slight hint of excitement in his tone. He leapt out his destroyed apartment's bedroom window and raced from the rooftops to get to the academy to receive his headband and sensei. The Noha Ninja Academy. Naruto walks into his old classroom with a happy grin on his whiskered face. The blonde shinobi just walking in as casually as he could heading in towards the back. Unaware of all the eyes that are looking at him. From Sasuke fangirls to the only two people he considers friends in the class, as well as his rival and a deep red-cheeked Hyuga. Laughing some to himself he sits in the back next to the window waiting for Iruka to get to the classroom. Before Naruto could get into any thoughts on who his sensei is he's shoved lightly in the arm by his rival. Hey dope what's up? Why are you here? It's ninja only. Like me remember? You failed the test didn't you? Kiba said with a slight arrogance to his voice. Well, publicly yes, I did fail, but that was aroused to oust a traitor to the village. Kiba. I did in fact pass, so now we're equals. Naruto replied with a fix-like grin. Oh, we aren't equal at all, dope. Sure, we're even in strength, but I'm just a bit smarter than you. I mean, I do lead our battles by at least 5 wins. Kiba retorted with his own smug expression. Glad you could make it though, Naruto. Can't wait to hear how you passed with his piece, said Kiba returns to sitting next to Hinata petting Akamaru. Thanks, Kiba. I wish you luck with you know who. Naruto says with a chuckle. Just as he gives a wave to Kiba, someone shoves him a bit hard to catch his attention. Hey Dobe, give me that sword. It's something that should be in the hands of a powerful ninja, not some clanless unloved orphan like you. Also what's with the clothing change, you look like an idiot. Sasuke said with an air of uptight arrogance Naruto couldn't stand. I'm not giving you my sword, Sasuke. It was a gift from the Hokage himself along with my new ninja gear. So piss off, emo king. Naruto retorted with venom in his voice. What did you say to me, loser? Give me that sword right now. Sasuke demands authoritatively. Yeah, give Sasuke your sword, Naruto baka. It should go to a real man, not a demon like you. Sakura said, agreeing with her crush. Naruto is taken back by that statement, Sakura says, as are some of the others in the class. Sakura, you shouldn't say things like that. Sure, Naruto's annoying at times, but he's not all bad and he certainly isn't a demon. Ino says, a little upset she would think so low of a fellow shinobi. Shut up, Ino pig, he is too, my mom told me so. Sakura yells at her. You heard the lady, Dope. Give me the sword and maybe I won't take it from you after I beat you down. Sasuke says once more with arrogance. Everybody sit down and shut up now. Sasuke, Sakura, stop bothering Naruto. Hiruka says using his signature jutsu. Sasuke scoffs and takes a seat at the window with Sakura sitting next to him. Ino looks at Sakura and shakes her head at her one-time friend and rival before sitting next to Naruto. Naruto seems to be fighting some tears as he wipes his eyes. Naruto, ignore Sakura, she's wrong about you. I know I usually agree with Sasuke on things like this, but not this time. You look really nice and that sword is awesome. Ino says with a smile as she pats Naruto on the shoulder. Thanks, Ino-san. It means a lot to hear that from someone as pretty as you. Naruto replies, sniffling a little bit. Ino just blushes as she fiddles with her hair. You really think I'm pretty? Ino asks with a little hope. Yeah, really. Your eyes, although a little pale, are a nice shade of sky blue, and your blonde hair looks really soft and beautiful. Naruto speaks honestly, missing the tinge of pink dusting the Yamanaka's face. Naruto, pay attention. Now please come down here and get your special headband. Hiruka says, holding up a Konoha headband with a deep orange cloth to it. Racing forward, Naruto grabs the headband and ties it around his head, smiling. He heads to his seat next to Ino and smiles some as Kiba stands up. Hiruka-sensei, can you tell us how Naruto is a ninja? I thought he failed. Kiba asks, curious about his rival. He did fail, Kiba. But it was part of a special A-rank mission he was given to oust Mizuki for a traitor. It was a complete success, but Naruto was forced to kill Mizuki for revealing an S-rank secret of the village. And for completing it without getting single scratch on himself, he was given the special rank of Takubetsu Genin. It's signified by his special orange forehead protector. Hiruka says with some pride that his student was given such an honor. What? Dobe, give me your headband. I'm an Uchiha elite, I deserve that rank, not you. Sasuke yells at him, a bit pissed off that Dobe gets his special rank. How you say something, emo king? Naruto replies. At that moment a masked Jonin sneezes as he reads his orange book. Damn it, Dobe, fight me. Winner gets that special rank. Sasuke demands. No, if you wanna go stroke your ego, just sleep with one of your fangirls. Oh wait, I forgot you don't like girls. Naruto replies with a louch. Ino and some of the guys in the room all laugh softly as Sasuke and Sakura fumes, while Sai just blushes softly. Sasuke, the headband isn't the only thing that signifies his rank. It's in his shinobi record and ID, so even with the headband you wouldn't get the rank. Now then, I'm going to start team placements. Team 1, Iruka starts as the students listen closely whereas Naruto tunes him out till he hears his name. I'm skipping teams 1 to 6 since they are unimportant anyway. Team 7 will consist of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Sai. Your Jonin sensei is Kakashi Haddock. Hiruka says as Sakura screams something about true love conquers all and take that Ino pig. As everyone sweat drops. Team 8 will consist of Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka and Shino Aburam. Your Jonin sensei is Kurina Yuhi. Hiruka says looking to the 3 students with a smile. Team 9 is still in rotation, so Team 10 will consist of Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akamichi. Hiruka says with a happy smirk while looking to Naruto. And due to special request by a newly appointed Jonin of the Leaf, Naruto will be taken as an apprentice. That's all for now. Wait here for your Jonin senseis to show up. Hiruka says as the classroom door opens and someone walks inside. The male stands at 6 feet tall with sapphire blue hair shaggy and spiked slightly. His eyes covered by a headband with the kanji for chosen on its face. The male is wearing solid black leather gear with red accents and trim near the rights and legs. Matching gloves and boots complete the outfit as the gear looks rather dark and menacing, even if the gear looks to be very ancient. The male looks around the room even with his covered the occupants to the room, could tell he can see even better than they can. In honor of Skyrim Special Edition's release, I changed his gear to that of the ancient shrouded armor without its enchants. I just really love Skyrim and have gotten way back into it again with the re-release. Seeing this imposing figure standing in the room, Sasuke just scoffs and stands up, walking over to him. "You better be able to teach me something important, sensei. I'm an Uchiha elite after all, and I deserve only the best. And if you don't, I'll have the council on you," Sasuke says with arrogance and command. The male turns his head to face where he heard the sound. He replies only by slamming his fist as hard as he can into Sasuke's stomach, making Sasuke cough up a glob of blood and lurch forward. Before Sasuke has time to react, a solid boot slams into his face, hurling him into the wall behind him, spiderwebbing it as his back impacts with it, knocking the Uchiha for a loop. Semi-conscious Sasuke looks at the man before the figure begins speaking. "The fuck you coming up to me like that, ass maggot? I'm not your sensei." The man speaks in a rather dark and reverberating voice sounding rather demonic. "How dare you hurt Sasuke come like that?" A pink-haired banshee squeals. Jedit nods and some cheers of agreement. "Oh boo-hoo, I hurt the emo. Suck the tears off my you ugly mudfucker," the man says rather bluntly. Now Naruto Uzumaki Senju Namikaze, front and center. The man says, getting Naruto to look at him a bit strange before going down to meet him. "Yes?" Naruto asks, a bit scared. "I'm your sensei. Meet me on the roof immediately. Now hold on to your lady parts," Matthias says as he grabs Naruto by the head, only to immediately disappear in a very impressive display of lights as they shoot out from the sensei's shadow before he and Naruto both sink into the earth in an instant before those lights explode, soaking the entire room in blood. Konoha Academy roof. Whoa, that felt strange. What the? Oh so question, why did you call me that instead of my name? I'm not a Senju and I'm not related to the Yadame or the Namikaze," Naruto asks confused. "Well, first off is the Senju. Your great-great-granduncle was Hashirama Senju. He had a sister who married an Uzumaki and took his name. Who became your great-great-grandmother. Your mother, I assume you know, was the only other Uzumaki in the entirety of Konoha. I was briefed on everything about you, child. Even your burden, and yes, I mean the you know what, and I don't give a fuck. It don't make you any less human than me. As for Namikaze, well, look at yourself in the mirror and take off the whisker marks on both your cheeks and tell me who you look like," Naruto-sensei says with a slight smile. Naruto's eyes widen to the size of dinner plates as he realizes who his father is. "What can you tell me about my father?" "Huh, please, I'll do whatever you want. I want to know more about my dad." "I know fuck all about your father. But it doesn't matter, the Dumbus could hold his for all I care, the fungal rim job. Now because you are Senju, that means you have a dormant Keki Genkai, which I will help you unlock during our 3rd month of training. By that time you will both hate my guts with a passion, yet love me as much as you would a brother at the same time. Am I understood, Naruto?" The man asks with finality and seriousness in his voice. "Hi sensei, I understand. Now what are we going to do to introduce ourselves?" Naruto asks while fidgeting with his headband. "Alright you dandy tart. My name is Matthias Krokvist, but I have many monikers. My personal favorites are God's Chosen, TBPM, Death Punch, and my personal favorite, Saint Guillotine. I have many like, such as sweets, teas, forest and nature in general, as well as the moon nighttime, and I love ramen. I dislike many things. Mostly arrogance, spoiled little shits, emos, rapists, murderers, bandits, raiders and tyrants. My hobbies are meditating and training in different arts, as well as mastering my apparently new Keki Genkase, the Mokuton, which you will also have when you unlock it, as well as my own known as Shoutner Crystal release. My dream is a simple one, yet it seems I'll never achieve it. It is simply to settle down with a wonderful woman and raise a family." "Your turn," the man identified as Matthias now speaks with a slight smile. "My name is apparently Naruto Uzumaki Senju Namikaze. Although I don't care about my father, I'd like to know about him to avoid becoming like him. But I wouldn't mind learning his movesets, just not use them for some real good. I like ramen, training and Sakura-chan, although I don't know why. I dislike waiting 3 minutes for instant ramen, Sasuke team, arrogance and all the things you don't. My hobbies are training and learning new jutsus, and my dream is to one day be Hokage, but not for the title alone. It's so everyone in the village will see me as me and not my tenant and maybe say sorry," Naruto says with happiness and passion at a fellow ramen lover. "Haha, wow, kid, I can tell I'm going to like you. Now then, let's go see the Hokage. I need to remove those seals that are inhibiting you, as well as get you on a proper eating regimen. I know you eat only ramen cause it's all people sell you. And don't worry, ramen will still be a staple of your diet. Can't truly take out the food of the gods from an aspiring soldier's diet now, can I? Matthias says as he grabs hold of Naruto's shoulder with a laugh before leaping off the roof towards the Hokage tower with Naruto in tow. Sensei, what about the other teams, will I be able to train with them? Naruto asks, a bit curious. What you mean, like with the emo king and the fangirls? PFFT, whatever you want. But I say let's leave the pussess in the dust and train yourself into the floor. I'm going to make you able to take on at least a tier 2 S-class soldier by the time I'm dead. Matthias says, looking forward as Naruto just chuckles a bit at his mannerisms. Hokage tower. A knock resounds through the Hokage's office as he's doing his paperwork. Huh? Oh, come in. Sarutobi calls. When the door opens, his adoptive grandson walks in with his new sensei, and he just smiles softly looking at them both. Ah, Naruto-kun, I see you met your sensei. Tell me, do you like him? Hiruzen asks with a slight smile before looking at the stack of paperwork that seems to have doubled in size. I like him, Gigi, he's a ramen lover too. We have a lot in common. So why wasn't I told about my parents or names? Naruto asks, shocking the Hokage. The elderly Kage looks to Naruto's sensei and sighs some, knowing he had told him. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I had to keep it secret. Just like I did with the Kyuubi. I know you must hate me for what I've done. I tried to keep your status secret, but it somehow got out. I made it an S-class secret so you could try and make friends, but I saw that was a failure as well due to the parents corrupting their children. As for your parents, they were both very famous shinobi who had many enemies who would stop at nothing to kill you if they knew. So I hid that as well. Sarutobi says while tears fill his eyes as he speaks with a deeply saddened tone. Okay, Gigi, I don't hate you. I understand completely why you didn't tell me any of this. I mean, what normal kid my age would keep it secret about being the 4th Hokage's son as well as the son of the red-hot Habanero Kushina, the Crimson Blade Uzumaki. Naruto says with a foxy grin while giving the Hokage a thumbs up. Hiruzen looks at the child with a tender smile before bringing his surrogate grandson in for a tight hug. Thank you, Naruto-kun. You wouldn't believe how much weight you have lifted off my shoulders and heart. I was so fearful that you would hate my guts for keeping your heritage secret. Sarutobi says with happiness seeping from his voice. I could never hate you, Gigi. You always do things that are for the better. Even if you can't always do it in time or be their cause of being Hokage. I just want my father's jutsu and my inheritance so I can properly train myself. Oh, also I want to get my sensei the Kage Bushin variants from the Scroll of Seals. When I told sensei I know the secret to it on how what the clones learn I do, and on the way here he told me he knew how to utilize them for my proper training and benefit. Naruto says with a foxy grin as he hugs his grandfather back, nuzzling into him a little with happiness. Of course, Naruto-kun. Your sensei spent last night learning the basics of chakra and its theory. Usage enhanced signs. He obtained his Jonin status simply because he wiped the floor with an entire squadron of Anbu and a whole platoon of Jonin, as well after that only using Tai and Kinjutsu. It almost took our entire village forces to bring him down. Hiruzen said as he walks over and copies down the Kage Bushin no Jutsu, Taj Kage Bunshin no Jutsu and Bushin Daibakuha and handing them over to Matthias. He takes the scrolls and looks over the first scroll. Reading through it, he smiles a little bit and makes a cross-hand sign in front of him before molding his chakra. Using only what he thinks is enough for that moment. Matthias yells. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. In that instant 5 other Matthiases poof into existence next to him and he smiles some, giving them all a thumbs up. One clone however just flips him off before slicing the others' heads off, only to get its head punched clean off by Matthias. Matthias looks at the Hokage and bows to him slightly to show respect and thanks before patting Naruto on the shoulder. Okay, that's all. We should get going to train. Oh wait, before we leave. Gigi, do you want to know the secret to beating your paperwork? Naruto asks curiously. In that instant Naruto is grabbed by his collar and lifted into the air by a frantic Hokage who begins shaking him some while yelling. You know how to kill paperwork? Naruto-kun, I'll give you anything you want for that information. Sand and travel rights, free ramen for life, the forbidden scroll of seals will be yours to keep. I'll even give you Tobirama and Hashirama Senju's personal jutsus, just tell me the secret. Sarutobi screams as he stops shaking his grandson and setting him on the ground, while Matthias just laughs at his misfortune. I think I'm gonna be sick. Anyway, Gigi-sen, I only have 2 words for you. Naruto says before leaning in and whispering into the Hokage's ears. Kage Bushin. Naruto looks at the Hokage who stares confused at him for a moment. Hokage Gigi, you remember that the clones you make remember everything they do when they disappear. So I assumed that you would know that using like 5 Kage Bushins on your enemy paperwork would get it done in an instant while you retain the memory of all the documents. Naruto says matter-of-factly with a smile as he chuckles at the dumbfounded look on his Kage's face. Hiruzen just gets up off his knees before heading over to his desk. He sets the paperwork down on the floor and proceeds to slam his head as hard as he can against his desk, spiderwebbing the mahogany desk where his head hits while screaming. Stupid, 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 so fucking stupid. How could I forget the very basic usage of the cage button? Stupid. With one last smash into the desk splits in half as the Hokage sighs and pulls out all his valuables before having a new desk brought in. Satobi makes 5 clones of himself and has them doing paperwork while Hiruzen walks over to Naruto and gives him the things he promised. Here's the traveling rights, here's the forbidden scroll of seals to learn from, and everything else will be given as soon as I can get them, so tomorrow. Now Matthias, what do you want? Hiruzen looks at Matthias, who's just staring at the cage with slight anger. I want to know why the child has inhibitor and loyalty seals placed all over his body to stunt growth, muscle building, brain functions, as well as altering his brain to love that pink-haired banshee cunt in his classroom's entire family. Matthias says with a bit of venom in his voice. What? What seals? The only seal that should be there should be the one keeping Kyuubi at bay. Hiruzen says, genuinely surprised by T information. While I was talking with Naruto, I was doing a chakra exercise to sense him as well as around me. I sensed many different chakra signatures on his body in the form of seals. I was hoping you would undo them with me. Matthias is a little peeved that someone would inhibit a child's growth, both mentally as well as physically. Of course I'll help you, Matthias. Naruto, strip to your boxers. Me and Matthias are going to release some seals off you, okay? Sarutobi says with worry as Naruto nods and strips to his black and red stripped boxers. For the next 4 pain-filled hours, Matthias and Sarutobi work diligently to release and destroy all the bad seals on Naruto while applying ones that would allow him better training. Namely gravity, resistance and storage seals in certain areas on his body. After the ordeal is done, we are left with a panting trio of shinobi who are just relaxing in the Hokage's office. I'm just glad Kami and Shinigami gave me knowledge on those seals and how to release them. I need to learn how to make those gravity and resistance seals also. Fuinjutsu seems like a damn versatile skill to have. Now I'm going to take Naruto home. Goodbye, Hokage-sama. I need directions though. Matthias says as he picks up and dresses Naruto back up before heading off to his apartment in the red light district from the directions given by Hiruzen. Naruto's apartment. Red light district. Second floor, door to the left. Matthias says as he feels his way up the staircase to the second floor. As he approaches the damaged apartment building, he hears a few women next to him. The women finish repairing the windows and door at the apartment after having cleaned it before looking at the unconscious form of Naruto in Matthias' arms and rush over with angry looks on their faces. Hey, did you do anything to hurt Naru-kun? Why is he unconscious? You better start explaining, mister. The women all begin yelling. Knowing this building is just a block away from a brothel, Matthias puts 2 and 2 together before sensing fire chakra as best he can. He feels they are Atlas Chunin or above in reserves. He realizes they are wounded NX shinobi, but they must now work their workers. He just bows to them and smiles before answering. I'm sorry ladies, I am Naruto's Jonin sensei. I took him to the Hokage earlier today and had some seals that were placed on him without the Hokage's knowledge removed. The whole thing tired him out and I was given directions to take him home. I just didn't believe he lived here in the red light district. It truly is a sad day in mankind when a child as great as him is forced to live with some of the worst scum, such as drug dealers and other horrible people, due to something out of his control. I hope I can trust you ladies with him since you probably live in this complex with him. Matthias replies softly while handing woman Naruto. Oh okay, sorry we got angry. It's just we thought you were one of those horrible villagers who hate him. Yeah, we live here with him and work at the brothels, but it's all we can do since we are no longer kunoichi. And thanks for doing that for Naruto. We all had our suspicions on the seals, but never thought much of it cause who'd believe a bunch of whores. Anyway sir, thanks, and I hope you teach Naruto well. Have a good day and be sure to come by the kitty kunoichi house sometime. I'm sure the girls would love to get a piece of you, handsome. One of the kunoichi says before carefully grabbing Naruto. The 4 girls take him inside the apartment and set him on his bed before lovingly covering him up and patting him on the head. Sighing some, Matthias pulls out a few security seals and places them around the complex, having the landlord, tenants and workers put fire blood into the matrix so they can enter and leave as they please. He adds his own and Naruto's before leaving for the day. Smiling softly, he just thinks on the hell he will put Naruto through for the next few months as his sensei. Hokage Tower next afternoon. Okay, so how did the teams do this year, everyone? The Hokage asks his shinobi. Team 1 fail. They need to be sent to the academy for another year. Replied a random jonin. Team 2 same as Team 1. Says another jonin. Team 3 fail. They need to be removed from the shinobi program. Replied a female jonin. Team 4 pass but barely. Team 5 and 6 same as Team 3. Reply 3 other jonin. Team 7 pass, Kakashi says, surprising everyone. Kakashi, you need to tell us how that happened. Hiruzen says before looking at his other jonins. Team 8 passes. Asuma responds. Team 10 passes. Kurenai says before turning to look at the new jonin. Naruto passes with flying colors. Matthias speaks. Now then Kakashi, how exactly did Sasuke and his teammates pass? Hiruzen asks. Truthfully, they never would have passed at all. Sasuke was so arrogant he thought he only needed himself to take me on. Sai is better than Jen in that much is certain, he's Atlas Chunin level shinobi. And Sakura is just a fangirl. I wanted to fail them so badly, but then Sasuke bitched to the council who strong-armed me into passing Team 7 cause of the Sharingan. I'd much rather be teaching sensei's son like Matthias here is than teaching this team. Kakashi said. Hiruzen and the other jonin sigh softly as Matthias pats the jonin on the back. Everyone just pats Kakashi on the back knowing the pain he will have to deal with for the next few months. Matthias, tell me, what do you plan on doing with Naruto? Kakashi asks, a little worried for his sensei's son. Who cares what he does for the demon? I say we just let him rot. A random jonin says looking at Matthias. Matthias doesn't waste any time. Within an instant Matthias appears before the jonin in his jaguar stance. With precision and skill Matthias spin kicks the jonin in the face before spinning again in a reverse motion. Bringing his left hand out in a chop-like position before arch, swinging his left arm upward from the floor into the jonin's crotch. Matthias's hand slicing upward clean through the jonin in question, bisecting him as he falls into 2 pieces on the floor gushing blood. By order of the Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi, you have broken his S-class law by speaking of the demon Naruto contains. Punishment is death. Punishment few-filled. May your soul find the peace in death it could not in life, and may your sins, anger and hatred weight you down to the hell you belong. Amen. Matthias speaks clearly for everyone before wiping his bare hand clean of blood. All in the room stare at Matthias like he grew a second head, a little freaked out that he just cut a man in half long ways with his bare hand. Shaking out of fire stupors, Kakashi asks. Matthias, what the hell exactly was that? You don't know shit all. That was my personal fighting style. I'll be teaching Naruto a different type of taijutsu though, but it will be supplemented with my family's personal hidden arts. One of which is instinct. You'll know more about that later. Whereas I'll also be teaching him how to use a fucking weapon. Matthias replies with a smile before rejoining the other jonin. Now if that's all I need to go, cause I have better things to do than stand here talking to a bunch of shit whistlers. Matthias speaks rather calmly as he pats Kakashi on the shoulder. Matthias, what kind of clock are you running? Hiruzen asks, a bit confused at how Matthias will teach all this to Naruto in such a short time. One that has recently been fucked in the face. Now I gotta get moving. Matthias says as he walks out of the office, heading off, leaving everyone to their own thoughts as they start to file out of the office. Kakashi stays put before looking at Hiruzen. Okage-sama, I don't trust that man. I know he's fairly new here, so how do we know he is here to help us and not going to betray us? Kakashi asks. Because yesterday he found out about a bunch of seals meant to not only hurt Naruto's growth as a shinobi, but as a human as well. They messed with his head and his loyalties, and Matthias took the time to point them out and remove them with me before putting on seals that will only help little Naruto-kun become better. Besides, he has Kami on his side. Hiruzen said, smiling before walking over to his desk. He pulls out a training schedule and sets it out for Kakashi. That's Matthias's training schedule for Naruto for the next 3 months. I think you'll enjoy it. Hiruzen says as Kakashi looks it over. Like Kami, this schedule would kill anyone other than Naruto. He's going to really undo all the damage the academy did and rebuild him from the ground up. I just hope he don't take it too hard. I'll be watching over Naruto as he trains though. Kakashi says, hoping to keep his promise to his sensei. That will be fine. Now I believe you have a team schedule to make. Hiruzen said as Kakashi shushens out of the Hokage's office after setting Matthias's training schedule down. Time skip 1 month later. Naruto is currently panting and sweating bullets as his body shows the cuts and bruises from his intense training under Matthias. It was only a few days ago when Matthias had jump-started Naruto's Senju DNA. It seemed to attune his muscular structure to that of Hashirama. Growing a few inches in just the last 2 weeks, he now stands at 5'7" tall. His form showing slight improvement when he began a normal diet like a shinobi should have, but not all too much to be overly obvious. Smiling some, Naruto drops to his knees, exhausted, looking towards his sensei. Man, you were right, sensei, I both hate and love you at the same time. I can't believe you were able to beat those poor styles out of me in the first 2 weeks. Naruto exclaims. That wasn't that hard. That Mizuki idiot obviously sabotaged you purposefully, and once the seals were gone, well, you took to a new style like a sponge takes to water. Matthias says, rather happy. Alright, that's enough training for today. Let your clones disperse at 15-minute intervals one at a time so you don't overload that pea-sized brain of yours. He says, chuckling as he and Naruto walk out of the training ground to the clan districts where they both now live. Oh haha, sensei. Whatever, it's not like you aren't at the same level as me in learning jutsus. At least we have something to share together rather than you being so great it intimidates me to where I fear success. Naruto says casually as he walks down the street. Naruto stops shortly after along with Naruto as he sees the Uchiha compound ahead as a woman sits crying in front of the gates with a bunch of boxes next to her. Deciding to do what's right, they walk up to the woman to see it's none other than the previous female clan head Makoto Uchiha. Hey Makoto, what's wrong? And what's with all these boxes? Naruto asks a little confused. Oh, and Naruto-kun, it's you and your sensei, these are my belongings. Sasuke had complained to the council that I was refusing to tell him how to unlock his Dojutsu, and he also said that I wasn't teaching him any Uchiha Jutsu. Sadly, the civilian council has domain over me since I'm no longer a kunoichi and had me ousted from the clan. Makoto says disheartened as she tears up more. The worst part is it was just sprung on me, so I haven't had time to find a new place to live. Since I'm no longer a member of the Uchiha by name, I am not allowed to live in the compound. Makoto says as tears stream down her cheeks. Makoto, please don't cry, please come live with me at the Namikaze compound behind the monument. Naruto says without a second thought. He always saw Makoto as a mother since she was always helping him with food behind the scenes as well as cloths. Makoto, please, it would mean the world to me to have one of the very few precious people I have live with me. Come on, let's seal your things and head home. Naruto says with a foxy grin before sealing up the boxes in 2 medium-sized scrolls. The three head towards the Hokage monument. The forest behind it leading to a rather well-to-do compound big enough to accommodate them all. Naruto-kun, thank you so much for this. I swear I will not be a burden on you. You won't even know I'm here. Makoto says smiling as she walks next to Naruto inside the compound sitting on the couch with him as Matthias takes the medium-sized scrolls upstairs to a bedroom before unsealing the contents within. Makoto, I want to know you're there. I want to know you are with me in the house. You're very special to me and you will never be a burden to me. I love you Makoto and no one will change that. Not even Sasuke team. Naruto says as he hugs a blushing and flustered Makoto. Thank you Naruto-kun. You don't know how much that means to me. Says a crying Makoto. She hugs Naruto tightly to her before sobbing softly into his shoulder as Naruto wraps his arms around the upset Uchiha. He just pats her back letting her cry out the hurt and betrayal. After an hour Makoto falls asleep nuzzled into Naruto's chest as he holds her to himself. Naruto sighs and picks up Makoto bridal style and leads her to the bedrooms upstairs. Setting her down on the bed Naruto sighs some as he goes to lean back only to find he's locked into Makoto's iron grip. He sighs some thinking. Well Kaiju-chan, what should I do? Naruto thinks internally a little confused. Well my handsome little Naru-kun, it looks like she's not going to let you go. You're her lifeline right now. Kurama says to him through the link. But Kurama-chan, what should I do to get out of this? He thinks someone panicking. Okay, here's what you do cutie. You lightly pick her up, move the covers and set her back down in the bed. Kurama says snickering a little as Naruto does what he's told. Okay, now what? Naruto smiles some. Now get into bed with her cover up and snuggle into those soft breasts of hers. I know she'll love it. Especially from a hunk like you Naru-kun. Kurama says cackling like mad as Naruto blushes and sighs. He knows he's not going anywhere and just does as he was told, getting into the bed snuggling into Makoto as he covers them both up before going to sleep. Time skip. Western Forest 2 months later. Red Fox in position, over. Naruto says silently into his headset. F-punch in position. Can you identify the target? Over. Matthias replies just as silently. Brown fur confirmed. Stripes confirmed, red bow above left ear confirmed. Love salmon confirmed. It's Tora. How should we do this? Over. Naruto says. Use your Mokuton. You need the practice just like me Naruto. Matthias replies. Right, on it. Naruto says as he flips through hand signs finishing on the snake seal. Mokuton. Shichikram no Jutsu, wood release. 4-pillar prison. Naruto exclaims softly as he slams his hands on the ground. A small wooden crate made of wood sprouts from the ground capturing Tora inside fish and all before Naruto and Matthias walk over and pick up the cage looking at Tora. The cat is rolling around in a blissful daze as Naruto had put a little bit of catnip inside the crate. Matthias and Naruto smile some and laugh before pulling Tora out of the cage and gently petting him before heading to the Hokage's office. Good job Naruto. Ever since your Senju blood kicked in after the injection, I'm glad you were able to figure out how to unlock your Keki Genkai. It's been a boon on us for training. I even have a new technique we can use for it. Matthias said with pride in his voice at how much his student has changed. Really nice sensei. What's it called? Naruto asks. It's called Mokuton. Shinpan Tsurayari, wood release. Judgment Vine Spears. Matthias says smiling. The idea is to have a solid Mokuton spearhead attached to vines that shoot out of your hands. The vines act like rope so you can swirl, swing and slash the spearheads around or pull them back towards you when the spearheads embed themselves inside an enemy. Matthias cuckles some while explaining. Wow, Nai-sensei, that sounds cool. I can't wait to learn it from you when it's finished. Naruto says with sparkles in his eyes. Yeah, I know, but what I think is we can take it up a step. Since the wood and other flour we make with the Mokuton is near fireproof, I'm thinking we can channel Raiten and Kaiten chakra through the spears and whip it across the vines to the enemy as a deadly attack, electrocuting them with Raiten or making them explode with Kaiten. Matthias explains. Naruto stares at Matthias a little dumbstruck, smiling some. Holy crap, that sounds bitchin'. I can't wait till you get it finished so you can teach it to me, sensei. Naruto beams as he hugs Matthias. Looking at Naruto, Matthias smiles and hugs him back with one arm as the other is holding the blissful and purring Tora. They soon come up on the Hokage tower to turn in the mission. Mission accomplished, Gigi. Tora-san is captured and ready to be given to the daimyo's wife. Naruto says, holding the cat up some to show it was purring lightly. Seeing the cat, everyone in the room checked the time, seeing it was a 10-minute capture time. Blowing the previous record of 2 hours 40 minutes out of the water, which was held by Team 7. The daimyo's wife rushes out and gently picks up Tora before squishing the cat between her massive bust. Seeing the cat struggle some, Naruto and Matthias feel bad for the cat before Naruto walks over to the daimyo's wife. Miss. I'm sorry, but I think you're holding your cat wrong. See, they don't like to be smothered or hugged tightly like dogs sometimes. Hold her on your forearm and just lightly pet her and she may stop running away so much. Naruto says, displaying what he means by doing that with Tora. Who resumes purring happily in Naruto's arms. The daimyo's wife just smiles and nods before repeating what Naruto did, getting the same result from Tora. Happy, the daimyo's wife just kisses Naruto's cheek before walking off with a happy Tora in her arms. Looking to the Hokage, Naruto and Matthias simply stand there waiting for everyone to come out of the stupor they are stuck in. The Hokage is first to recover, shaking his head before looking to Matthias. So Matthias, how has Naruto-kun been getting along in his training? Hiruzen asks. Before Matthias can answer, Naruto opens his mouth. I'm doing great, Gigi-san. Matthias has me make Atlas 10 clones to read up on jutsus in the library to memorize the hand signs, the names of the techniques and what they do, as well as working on my chakra control. If I had to guess, I'd say I'm Atlas low to mid Chunin in chakra control, which is good enough for now. But that aside, Nai-san forces me to train on the jutsus without the use of clones. Naruto says with a smile. I work on jutsu without the clones. Why have the clones learned the jutsus he assigns only to make you practice yourself? Hiruzen asks, already knowing the answer, but wondering if Naruto already figured it out. Yeah, I know why. Matthias says that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Meaning that if I just use hundreds of clones to master everything, I don't get any real experience with it. Only the ability to use it without hard work. Without hard work I would get arrogant like Sasuke team and eventually get corrupt and lust for more power, no matter the cost. Naruto explains. He then smiles and further elaborates. Matthias, Nai-sensei says that the path to true strength is enlightenment. The path to enlightenment is understanding. The path to understanding is training and practice. And finally, the path to training and practice is knowledge and hard work. He says it's okay to have my clones work on things like memorizing jutsu and the signs for the jutsu as well as chakra control to make it easier cause of my massive reserves, but to truly obtain my dream, I have to work for it myself. Not let my clones do it all. Naruto says sagely. Matthias begins clapping his hands, smiling some at his adoptive brother and student, smiling and laughing happily. It's only been 3 months and you truly understand the meaning to the most basic of knowledge I have to teach. Atato, I'm proud to call you a shinobi, Naruto-kun. Matthias says. As he says that, someone speaks up from behind. Oh please, the dope is a poor excuse of a shinobi and everyone knows it. He's just a dead last and a loser. He's a clanless and unwanted orphan who has a real weakling for a sensei. Naruto's parents probably just abandoned him cause they couldn't stand the fact he'd grow up the son of a whore and a useless ninja. Sasuke says arrogantly as he walks over to the Hokage with his team to turn in another completed D mission. Sasuke, normally I would retort with something stupid in a fit of rage at you. But over these past months with my supposedly weak sensei who wiped the floor with an entire squad of Anbu in less time it takes to blink, I have learned that emotions get you killed when used at the wrong time. I know the truth about my parents and I know how to use my emotions as weapons on the battlefield instead of letting them inhibit me. Unlike you, a supposed Uchiha elite. Naruto says before looking to Matthias and retorting. Man, if he's all that's left of the clan and considered an elite, I weep for the Uchiha clan and for Madara as his descendants were all weak as fuck. Well, everyone besides Itachi and his mother Makoto. True elites of the clan. Poor Makoto as well, I'm just glad she accepted my offer to live with me at the compound when Sasuke had her clan status removed. Naruto says, getting a raging Sasuke to blindly run forward to attack Naruto, only to be blocked by Kakashi, who pins Sasuke to the ground and drags him over to his team to calm him down before walking over and handing a scroll over to the Hokage. Kakashi and Team 7 reporting a successful mission. Hokage. The house was and crops were cleaned and tended to properly. Also sorry about Sasuke. Matthias. Kakashi says apologetically. Doesn't matter really. Words mean nothing in life, only actions. Naruto-kun has shown who he truly is with his actions, and I'm proud to be his sensei and his friend. As for Sasuke, I too weep for the once great clan that had a hand in creating a peaceful village. I just wish Madara was alive today. Matthias says before looking at the Hokage. Okay Team 7, another mission for your record. Now we have many more. Let's see, we need a merchant's house painted, or you can deliver supplies to a local blacksmith. Oh, there's also Hiruzen speaks before getting cut off. No more D rank missions. I'm sick of these time wasters. I need power so I can kill my brother. And I'm not getting any stronger with these lame D ranks. I'm an Uchiha elite and I demand a C rank mission for a better use of my time. Sasuke screams at the end, snarling the whole time. Uchiha-san, I am the Hokage. You should know your place is below me, Genin. I don't care how the council treats you, I am your leader and you will not speak to me in such a manner again, am I understood? Hiruzen says softly before screaming, releasing a decent sized amount of Kai toward Sasuke, who proceeds to quickly nod, a little worried now. That's what happens when you show a bit of leniency to fuck-offs. I have to say that the ballsack will definitely fuck up, but I say give him the mission. They're gonna shit the bed again one way or another. Good luck buttfuckers, ahahaha. Matthias says with a laugh at the end, a little annoyed at the way the Uchiha was spoiled to this point. Fine, I guess the baby can have his bottle. Here Kakashi, I'm giving your team a C rank escort mission. Your job is to protect a bridge builder as he heads to Wave Country and finish building a bridge. Send in the client please. The Hokage says as an elderly man carrying a sake bottle walks into the room. What? I ask for protection and all I get are a bunch of brats. I ask for protection and all I get is a pale gay, a pink-haired cross-dresser and an emo king. Please tell me this is a joke and I really get the blonde and the bat is standing over there. Tazuna says, pointing to Matthias and Naruto as both of them laugh at the nicknames of Team 7 while Sai blushes at the comment. I'm sorry to tell you that Team 7 is the one that is escorting you. And no, it's not the blonde and the baddest as you so put it. Hiruzen says apologetically. Actually Hokage-sama, if Naruto agrees I wouldn't mind going along with Team 7 on a joint C rank mission. I need to test Naruto outside of the village again this time and this mission sounds perfect. Matthias says as he bows to the Hokage. Very well Matthias, I'll approve of your request simply because I know Naruto is ready. Congratulations Tazuna. You got your wish and now Naruto and his sensei Matthias are going with Team 7 to protect you. Hiruzen says with a happy smile on his face. Great, thank you Hokage-sama. Wow, I feel a lot better with you two on my protection detail. Hey, wanna have a drink or two before we head out? Tazuna asks, walking over to Matthias and Naruto as he offers them both 2 small bottles of sake. Naruto and Matthias both turn their heads to look at each other. Naruto looks and sees Matthias still has his headband tied around his eyes as a blindfold, and Naruto took to doing that as well, but only during missions and training to better his other senses so he could hear better than he sees. After a seemingly intense debate through facial expressions, they both look at Tazuna with a wide face-splitting grin. I like you Tazuna. Me, you and Naruto will get along just fine. Maybe I can get a secretary to get you a mouth suckin', Matthias says before taking all 4 small bottles, handing 2 to Naruto, who proceeds to drink 1 bottle with his sensei and client as they walk out towards the western gate. Alright Sasuke, Sakura, Sai, go home and pack for a month-long mission. Only bring supplies that are needed. Meaning food, water and shinobi tools only. Sakura, that goes double for you. No beauty supplies or needless clutter. Meet at the western gate in 1 hour, Kakashi says while shoe-shining away. 20 miles outside Konohagakure. Sensei, can we take a break? I'm tired. Sakura cries as she sluggishly walks along road next to Sai. Naruto and Matthias, who are walking on the left and right sides of Tazuna, keeping watch while having clones in the forests, forming a perimeter. Sai at the weak disgrace to Kunoichi everywhere. We just rested 20 minutes ago, Sakura. So stop complaining. Naruto says to her. Shut up Naruto baka. I'm tired and we didn't rest all that long. Sakura cries again. We rested for half an hour, Banshee. Shut your mouth and deal. Matthias says to her as Kakashi just giggles, perversely reading his porn while half of it was sent toward Sakura. Kakashi-sensei, can you get him to leave me alone? Also, will we run into any enemy ninja in Wave? Sakura says, upset. Huh? You say something, Sakura? Kakashi says, uninterested. Off in the distance, everyone swears they heard someone scream about hip cool attitudes. We won't run into ninja, we'll run into convicts and reprobates. Matthias says, answering her second question. Huh? What do you mean, are you sure we'll be safe from them? Where are they hiding and who are they with? Sakura asks scared. Those goofball miscreant ball tuggers won't be able to do anything to us fuckwit. Also they're with big tittied blowjob models with yellow fever. The fuck do I know? Am I some sort of psychic? Mathis says ignoring Sakura's looks as she glares at him. After a few more hours of walking 4 out of the 7 people on the road seem to be completely oblivious to the puddle of water in front of them. Matthias looks to Naruto and they both nod before Matthias signs towards Kakashi, letting him know a Jinjutsu is in use ahead. Kakashi nodding his head softly as he flips the pages of his book. Although seeming to be uninterested, Kakashi's relaxed form shows true experience as he is able to sense, see and feel the environment ready for an attack from all sides. As the teams and Tazuna pass the puddle when they are a considerable distance away, 2 men rise out of the puddle and whip their gauntlets forward, wrapping a shuriken chain around Kakashi and pull tearing Kakashi to pieces. 1 down 5 to go. Mizuki says as they ready their gauntlets and charge for Sasuke. Sasuke freezes as the chain from the gauntlets is heading towards him. Unable to move, he begins to piss himself as he thinks. What, no, I can't die here, I have to beat Itachi. Why won't my body move? I'm an elite and I'm afraid. As he's thinking of this, Naruto and Matthias spring into action, not wanting to have to explain to a bitchy council how they let their precious Uchiha die like a bitch. Quickly throwing his arms down the kunai Naruto was holding embed into the holes of this shuriken chain, pinning it to the floor. Both Matthias and Naruto flip through different hand signs before Naruto stops on Tiger and slams his hands into the recently wetted ground due to the demon brothers' jutsu for the effectiveness of their Jinjutsu. Matthias ends his hand signs and pulls his arms up above his head, bending the elbow so his hands meet his shoulders. Both Naruto and Matthias call out fire attacks. Mokuton. Jubakui ism would release Treebind Flourishing Burial. Mokuton. Shinpan Tsuruyari would release Judgment Vine Spears. Naruto's jutsu forces over 10 tree roots to explode out of the ground and bind Mizuki to the floor, rather tightly pinning him to where he can't move. While Matthias throws his arms forward. As he does this, 2 solid and very sharp spears with vines whipping around behind them spring out of the palms of Matthias' hands, embedding themselves inside Mizuki's torso as Matthias pulls his back, causing Mizuki to be hurled towards Matthias rather quickly, where he meets with Matthias's boot in the model of his stomach as the spears reseat into Matthias's palms before disappearing completely. Matthias acts quickly and puts Mizuki in a half Nelson, cutting of the circulation to his brain. Nai-sensei, don't hurt him, we need information. Naruto says, a little worried for the enemy. I'm not hurting him. I'm using hug therapy. As Matthias says this, Mizuki stops thrashing around, passing out due to lack of blood to the brain, only to then lose control of his bowels. Oh dear sweet lord, I think he just went to the bathroom in his pants. Guess Sakura's mother must be nearby handing out mouth jobs. Matthias says as he drops Mizuki onto the floor. He quickly runs through hand signs, stopping on Snake and slams his hands to the ground. Mokuton. Shichikram no Jutsu would release 4-pillar prison, Matthias says as Mizuki is captured in a strong wooden cage around Mizuki. Now that's over. Come on out, Kakashi. The fighting's over. Naruto says as he walks over to Matthias. Alright, that was an amazing job, Naruto-kun, I'm proud to have you as a fellow shinobi. Matthias, you're training him well. I never realized you both had the Mokuton Keki Genkai. Kakashi says as he puts his book away, walking over to Mizuki to begin interrogating him. Meanwhile, Sasuke is fuming about how Naruto has more power than him. Sai is blushing once more as he stares at Naruto fidgeting somewhat, and Sakura is just fawning over her Sasuke-kun and how he could have beat the two if Naruto and his idiot sensei didn't interfere. Nai-sensei, you were able to use the jutsu. That's so awesome, you have to teach it to me. Naruto exclaims while standing in front of his sensei. Sure Naruto. You only need to make the snake and ram signs, then focus your chakra to the palms of your hands. Imagine the head of the spear in any design you want and they should begin sprouting out of your palms where you can grab the heads near the base. When you grab hold of the spear heads, you imagine vines being attacked to the lower half of the spear, so it acts as a rope. I pulled my hands back so that I would have enough momentum to pierce the armor he wore. When you feel the tip of the vines touch your fingers, you can throw your hands forward, releasing the spear towards the enemy, while the vine will act as your rope. Matthias says happily as he pats Naruto softly on the head. Awesome, we need to get to Tazuna's house so I can practice with the jutsu. Naruto exclaims happily, chuckling as Kakashi walks up towards them. Tazuna is a little worried, so he's hanging out by Matthias and Naruto. Tazuna, you need to explain why 2 Nukenin were after you. Sure, they made a beeline towards Sasuke, but he was directly in front of you at the time, so I guess they figured to take out the both of you quick and easy. This is not a C rank mission. This is B rank, borderline A rank if we meet a Jonin. Spill it. Kakashi spoke with slight anger in his voice, wanting to know why they were lied to. Fine, I'll tell you everything, but just know that if I could have paid for a higher ranked mission I would have. C rank was all the entire village could pay for. Tazuna says. He then spends the next 45 minutes explaining the situation to Kakashi, Matthias and Naruto. Matthias and Naruto having already decided. They are going to kick some ass and not leave much alive along their path. Kakashi was on the fence and looked at his genin. Well you three. It's up to you. Whether I say so or not. Matthias and Naruto will surely stay with Tazuna regardless just to ensure that he lives to see his dream completed and to break Gato's hold on Wave Country. Kakashi said with slight wonder. TSK, whatever. If the Dobe and the Ass can fight against these guys I'm sure they aren't that tough. I bet I could wipe the floor with them. Sasuke says with all the arrogance he can muster. Yeah you tell him Sasuke-kun. Sakura screeched. I wouldn't mind spending time with the less duo there protecting the sober monkey. Sai said poking his usual insults. Kakashi knowing Sai gives opposite nicknames for attitudes he looks at the pale child and asks. Sai you call Sakura whisper and Sasuke are happy. So if you call Naruto and Matthias less have you seen how big they are? Kakashi says with wonder and slight unease. Yes I have. It was an accident at the hot springs a few weeks ago. They were both hanging out and talking when they slipped due to someone pushing past them, both their towels slipped off and I blushes even more before looking at Kakashi. Just know they are well-to-do in the third leg department. Why is it wrong that I saw them? Kakashi just shakes his head some sighing. Knowing how awkward Sai was when it came to social interactions, he couldn't blame him for not knowing about social stigmas. No, it's fine Sai just strange that you find men attractive like that. Not that it matters really. As Matthias would say whatever floats your boat. Anyway let's get going everyone. I'm sending word to Konoha when we reach Tazuna's house. Kakashi says mimicking Matthias during the quote only to start walking once again. After about 130 miles. All of which Tazuna spent on Matthias's back being carried piggyback style, they reach the rendezvous point with the boatman. The boatman is able to get them into Wave Country with ease before getting back to the other side into Hai no Kuni. Tazuna and his guards walk for about 15 minutes when Naruto notices a snow rabbit bounding across the road. The bunny is white, but it's not winter. Either it was an indoor bunny that escaped or it was held for Kawarimi. As Naruto finishes his thoughts, Matthias pulls Tazuna to the floor and keeps him there with his foot as he screams. Everyone get down. As Matthias yells this everyone ducks. A massive Zambato swirls around going above everyone's heads. Matthias, being who he is races forward and throws his hand out as the blade nears him. Not moving an inch Matthias clamps his hand down on the massive blade dead in its tracks. Holding the sword from the blade itself grunting at the slight pain he's feeling he just sighs as he holds it up like it's weightless. A bandaged-faced man leaps out and lands on the handle to his sword currently held by Matthias. Looking at the man the blade doesn't move an inch even under the man's added weight. The two stare each other down before the mysterious sword user grabs hold of his blade's hand and Matthias lets the blade go. The strange man in question shushens to a tree at the bend in the road looking over everyone in the area. Smirking under his bandaged mask he smiles and speaks. So Kakashi of the Sharingan no wonder the demon brothers couldn't stop you. Those genin of yours must be fresh from the academy cause I can see and smell that the emo looking one has already pissed himself. Surprisingly the blonde child seems to not fear me or he hides his fear well, but you the man that stopped my blade no one has ever stopped Kubikiribacho so easily, let alone hold it up one-handed as easily as you did. I have a suspicion but who are you? The masked man asks a little intrigued as well as fearful. Having heard a few months ago how the man he's thinking of wiped the floor with over a full platoon of Jonin and above-level shinobi in less than 4.5 minutes. Well it is usually polite to give one's name before asking for one, but I suppose I don't mind telling you. My name is Matthias. Registered in Konohagakure with the monikers Saint Guillotine and my personal favorite which is also my moniker in the bingo book. Chosen as signified by the kanji chosen on my forehead protector. Matthias said pointing to his personally made Hitai 8. My name is Abusa Mamachi I thought it was you Death Punch I hear you wipe the floor with a full platoon of Jonin, only using your bare hands and hidden family arts, leaving nearly none of them able to continue their jobs as shinobi. Zabuza exclaims a little worried that he may have to face such a master of the physical aspects of the shinobi. Well yes that much is true, but I only fight when the situation truly calls for it or to teach my genin, he's the blonde one by the way, how to fight. I can already tell you won't be much in a scrap though puke nuts. Now Zabuza mind telling me why a Nukanin from Kiri is working for a man like Gato. I'm sure you could get better work somewhere else rather than under the employ of a tyrant. Matthias says a little curious about this situation. Why I do this is for me to know and you to never bother figuring out. Just know that I do this for my dream. Now then shall we get to business. Hand over the bridge builder and I'll let you all go. Zabuza said a little saddened at this thought before steeling himself getting ready to fight another swordsman. Fine if it's a fight you want a fight you shall receive. Naruto stay with Kakashi and defend the bridge builder. Naruto says as he walks over to stand in front of Zabuza, dropping into his Jaguar instinct stance. I look forward to this. Now then, let's have some fun, shall we? Zabuza says as charges forwards towards Matthias, arc swinging his blade downwards, forcing Matthias to sidestep. Matthias spin kicks at Zabuza's ankles to force him off his feet, only to miss as Zabuza backflips away from him, only to bump into a clone behind him that roundhouses him in the back towards Matthias, who bear hugs Zabuza's suplex, throwing him behind himself onto the lake. Zabua gets up and smirks a little bit before charging forward once again. Matthias smirks a little bit as he sidesteps and spins to avoid Zabuza's blade, only to quickly counter with light punches to his torso and abdomen before roundhouse kicking him away. Zabuza begins to get a little enraged as Matthias switches from defense to offense and charges at Zabuza, landing a devastating thrust punch into his sternum before switching to a spin kick then elbow. That punch combo before backflip kicking him into the air while unsealing a double-edged sawblade-like sword and leaping upward and slashing his chest open with it before slamming his fist downward into his head, slamming Zabuza into the ground like a ragdoll, making him bounce once before landing on his back into the dirt. Landing on the ground, Matthias takes up his stance once more in defense, waiting for Zabuza so he can counter. Brah, holy shit, you're good but I'm better. A simple cut like that won't stop me. What do you say we kick this up a notch and add ninjutsu as well? Zabuza more states then asks as he flips through hand signs before yelling. Suiton. Kurigakur no jutsu as a thick heavy mist rolls in over everyone. Ahahaha 8 points Matthias, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, spine, larynx, jugular and brain. Which way do you want to die? Zabuza says rather demonically as his voice echoes through the mist. Tazuna, Sakura, Sai and Sasuke all shaking a little bit at the Kai Zabuza is releasing. Naruto taking note of this eyes and shakes his head some before speaking. Sakura, Sasuke, Sai, Tazuna, none of you have anything to worry about. Matthias Nai-san will take care of Zabuza. He won't let any of us get hurt even if you two of you are complete and total assholes. He may not like it, but he'll fight to the death for your right to be that way. Naruto says as all four of them seem to ease up a little bit, feeling a little bit safer at that proclamation. He's right. I may not have trusted Matthias at first. But I've seen how fervently he defends his home and his comrades. I highly doubt he'll let Zabuza anywhere near us. And even if he somehow gets beaten, I'll still be here to do the same. Kakashi says as he creates a cage bushin to stand near Tazuna. Matthias and Zabuza begin their ninjutsu battle, throwing around jutsu after jutsu. Suiton. Mizurappa, water release. Wild water wave. Zabuza yells, spewing a stream of water out of his mouth. Odendori Heki, earth style. Earth style wall, Matthias says, stomping his foot down, bringing up a large wall to block to the water before flipping through more hand signs. Mokuton. Jigoku no Kai no Sento, wood release. Hellish wood spires, Matthias says, slamming his hands onto the ground as thick multi-spiked spires erupt out of the wet earth in front of the wall, speeding towards Zabuza in a straight wave as he jumps and dodges the pursuing spikes. Matthias shunshuns behind Zabuza before slashing at his back and sides in quick succession before roundhousing him one more time towards the spires before getting impaled onto one of the spikes. Zabuza growls in pain as frees himself before cutting the spires down and leaping out onto the water. The second Zabuza comes up behind Matthias, lashing him in the back with its Kubakirabacho, causing a rather large gush of Matthias's blue-shaded blood to spew forth before he spins around, slamming his fist into the clone. The clone dissolving into water, revealing it was a Mizubushin. Zabuza flies through hand signs before smirking as he charges forward, saying. Suiton Suro, no jutsu, water release. Water prison technique. Trapping Matthias into the water prison, forcing more blood to seep from his rather big wound. Zabuza smirking under his bandages as he thinks he's won the fight. Matthias channels his chakra into his lungs, concentrating on using it to breath in water like Tobirama's journal explained. Looking towards Naruto, Matthias nods gently as Naruto steps forward, facing towards Zabuza, making 3 clones, leaving 4 Naruto standing, all whipping through hand signs. Zabuza scoffs some and creates 5 Mizubushins, which also charge through hand signs. The 4 Narutos finish first and smirk rather devilishly as they all yell out at the same time. Oten. Dasakiryu, earth release. Earth and stone dragon. Suiton. Suryudan no jutsu, water release. Water dragon technique. Pain. Karuenden, fire release. Fire dragon Miss Lee. Mokuton. Mikuryu no jutsu, wood release. Wood dragon jutsu. All 4 Narutos pump as much chakra as they can into this one last attack, smirking as they unleash it. All 4 dragons barreling towards Zabuza and his clones, wiping them out like fliss before they fince a thire hand signs. 2 dragons survive and roar as they charge forth towards the water prison, forcing Zabuza to dodge the remaining woof, and fire dragons freeing Matthias in the process, who slashes Zabuza's gut, arm and legs before shining next to Naruto, dropping to one knee due to blood loss. Zabuza stumbles as he tries to hold himself up before two senbons nail him neck killing him. A hunter nin drops from the forests next to Zabuza as she picks him up along with Kubikirabacho before saying. Thank you for weakening Zabuza. I've been after him for a while now and I can't thank you enough for this. I'll see you later and dispose of the body a few meters away from the obvious genin near Tazuna so they don't have to see this horrible process. And with that the hunter nin disappears with both the body and the sword in a water shunshin, leaving the two teams to stand there in silence for a while. Matthias gets up and sighs some as his back still leaks a bit of blood, bringing a grunt from him as Naruto puts Matthias's arm over his shoulder and aids him in walking to the others. Matthias breathes a sigh of relief as he looks over to Naruto. Naruto smiles and nods, some giving a thumbs up as the two teams walk towards Tazuna's house. After a short introduction, Tsunami smiles when she hears of what the ninja have done for her father while patching Matthias's rather wicked-looking sword wound. Sasuke quickly walks upstairs to the bathroom and changes his clothes while Sakura follows him. Sai just walks with Kakashi and goes to sleep in one of the guest rooms as Naruto spends some time talking with a blushing Tsunami who can't seem to take her eyes off the blonde. His cerulean blue eyes seeming to captivate her as she tells him about herself and her father Tazuna with a slight giggle and chuckle here and there. The day goes by and Naruto decides it best to hit the head and go to bed like his sensei who's currently knocked out on the couch in the living room. Naruto knows what is to come within the week and decides to try his hardest at training to become stronger to protect his newest precious people from harm before the realm of sleep captures him. Azuna's estate, Wave Country. 5:03 a.m. Naruto slowly opens his eyes, yawning some, looking around his room not seeing his sensei. He sighs softly and looks at the door before standing up and Jetnik dressed in a miniature version of Matthias's outfit, tying his hit-eye to his head, smiling some. He heads downstairs to see his sensei setting the table for breakfast for three. Scratching his head, Naruto just sighs and takes a seat. Looking towards Tsunami, he smiles softly as she just calmly bows her head once before speaking. I can't thank you two enough for what you're doing. My father really wants us to be free. Tsunami says with a smile. Oh, it's no big deal really. It's just the right thing to do. Naruto says as if it's the most simple thing in the world. Yes, but not many people would be willing to do it like you and your sensei here. He's rather strange, that one, but I can tell he's a good man. Tsunami says, chuckling a little bit at the strange male's actions. Yeah, that's nice and alright. He's not from here at all really. Naruto replies with a dismissive wave. Oh, what do you mean by not from here? Is he from the land of iron or maybe water? Tsunami asks, a bit confused. No, I mean he's not from the elemental nations at all. It's really his story to tell, but it's nothing too strange really. Anyway, where is he? Naruto asks, looking around. Oh, he's cooking breakfast. Something he calls chorizo and egg. I don't know what the heck it is, but it looks and smells good. He also says it's your favorite breakfast besides steak and eggs, so I might learn how to make it for dinner once. Tsunami says, scratching her head a little embarrassed. Wow, really? Thanks, I'd like that a lot, Tsunami, thank you. Naruto says, beaming a smile at her as he leans over the table giving her a hug. Hey, quit with the hippie fest in here, damn it. Food's ready anyway and we have to get to training you again, Dumbus. Matthias says with a slight chuckle as Naruto quickly blushes and lets go of a cherry-faced Tsunami. I never thought someone as young as Naruto could have such a good feeling body. Tsunami thinks to herself as she shakes her head clear of the thoughts. Okay Naruto, today we're going to learn about your elemental affinities so I can better train you in different jutsu suited to you. I also know what happens when a few of your affinities merge from the paper, alright. Matthias says, eating some of his breakfast as Tsunami does the same. Okay sensei, but are you sure you're okay? I mean, you took a full blow from Kubikirabacho to the back and had your ribs, shoulder and some of your spine split open and showing. Are you sure you're okay to train me? Naruto asks, a little worried for the only sensei and surrogate brother he's ever wanted. What, are you serious? Kid, that shit ain't nothing to me. Not since the experiments anyway, that was nothing. Honestly, it was like a bee sting. Hurts just enough to be a distraction but only mildly annoying as a small hindrance. Matthias says a little casually as he remembers the acid baths and being skinned alive to see if he regrows it as the tests show he should. Shuddering, Matthias quickly finishes his meal before washing his dish, with Naruto doing the same before walking over to Tsunami and bowing to her. Thank you for your hospitality, Tsunami. Sensei would beat me into the dirt if I ever was impolite to a woman as beautiful as you and didn't say my proper thanks. Naruto says before leaving the house with a flushing Tsunami to just stare at the table, holding a hand over her heart at what was just said. Forest 3 miles out from Tazuna's house. Alright Naruto-kun, just sit crisscross in lotus position and channel chakra into this paper. Matthias says as he hands Naruto some paper. Hi sensei. Naruto says as he puts the paper between his fingers and begins channeling chakra into it. What happens kind of shocks Matthias. First, the paper splits into 3 pieces signifying wind. The 3 pieces act strangely as they fall. One bursts into flames leaving only ash. The second crumbles into black dirt with a few pieces levitating. The last piece of chakra paper turns completely into water. It further surprises them both, as when the fire meets the black earth it turns into lava. When water hits the burning piece that side turns into a thick purple fog and the last bit of blackened earth, which is levitating, shoots upward and sticks to Naruto's face as the rest meets water and forms a small tree in the dirt. Matthias, just staring at the paper, begins laughing a little manically as he stares at the results. Holy shit son, you have 4 affinities bro. Wind, water, fire and earth, but not only that. Due to your Uzumaki heritage you have their boil and lava release Keki Genkai. And due to your father's wind element though you also have the magnet release Keki Genkai. I fucking knew you would be a kami damned powerhouse. Matthias says while laughing at the prospect of what is to come with his training. Wow, I really have all that. That's amazing. How do I unlock my Keki Genkai sensei? Naruto asks a little excited with sparkles in his eyes. Same way you unlocked your Mokuton, you have to experience a life or death situation or extremely stressful situation in which will cause you to unlock them. I can maybe get magnet release for you, but lava and boil will be up to you until I can research it man. Matthias says with a shrug of his shoulders. Standing up, Matthias takes a few steps away from Naruto and Naruto does the same only to be in a stare down with his sensei. Matthias smirks a little crazily as his hair shifts from a deep ocean sapphire blue to a blood red for an instant before returning to normal. Matthias's eyes being shown here as he took off his headband blindfold shows his heterochromic eyes. His deep mariner blue eye is now blood red as his green eye is solid orange. Both his sclera are a deep shade of grey amplifying the look he's giving Naruto. Matthias and Naruto begin their spar. Unknown to the two training shinobi, a single red eye stares at the ensuing battle as a smile appears underneath his mask before heading back from where he originally came from. Azuna's house, living room 7 hours later. "Ah, you lasted longer than I thought you would," grunt, Matthias says as he tosses a physically exhausted and panting Naruto onto the couch. "Why yeah, I really thought you were going to kill me. The pain and wounds, I couldn't believe it was almost too much." Naruto says as he just sits on the couch unable to move due to his injuries, all the while a smile on his face. "Yeah, sorry about that. I got a little carried away. Grenadier doesn't really know how to hold back all too much, so he was perfect for unlocking your magnet release. You had to think you would die and Grenadier would have actually killed you if you didn't unlock it." Matthias says a little pissed off at his alternate personality for hurting his Itato so badly. "It's okay Nai-sensei, besides it's cause of his assholeish nature that I was able to unlock magnet release and hurl those stupid kunai back to him with a shot to your face, knocking him back into your mindscape." Naruto says before sighing a little exhausted as he sighs with relief. "Magnet release huh? A second Keki Genkai Naruto-kun? I'm proud to say you even surprised me with that one." Kakashi says as he walks down from upstairs. "Huh? Oh hi Haddock-san. I trust you slept well and had a good training session with your students." Matthias says a little curious. "Sleep? Yes, training. Sadly no. I decided to teach them tree climbing and maybe water walking afterwards. Sakura has such little chakra reserves, but so good control over it, she passed the first try. Sai was able to do it on his 5th, but I could tell he was holding back and Sasuke, well last I checked he was still out there falling on his head, refusing to ask for help." Kakashi says dejectedly as he shakes his head. "I'm sorry Kakashi, that must suck having the team and the Banshee on your team. I'd offer to help, but I can't move my arms or legs." Naruto says smiling some with a chuckle. "It's fine Naruto, just relax and take it easy. Nearly being killed by your sensei had to have been a tough pill to swallow." Kakashi says a little angered looking towards Matthias who's just relaxing while writing up in a notebook. "Don't be mad at him. We tested my affinities and something really strange happened to the paper. When it split into 3 pieces showing I had a strong wind affinity. But the pieces showed my other 3 affinities and when the affinities met on the floor they merged, showing I had dormant Keki Genkai and Nai-sensei just thought it would be better to unlock the one he knows most about." Naruto says as he looks towards Matthias woes just riding away. "Yes, but there had to be a better way than nearly killing you. I'm glad you're okay though. But I've been meaning to ask. Why do you call Matthias Nai-sensei?" Kakashi asks a little bit intrigued before sitting next to him. "I call him that cause he is my Nai-sensei. He's like the brother I've always wanted. He not only takes care of me and defends me in the village, but he also doesn't take shit when he's alone and hears people talking bad about me. Even when we're together and I can't hear the insults he does and knocks them around saying not to insult his little brother. But he also is my sensei. He's strict and tough on me, insulting me and pointing out my flaws while making sure I work on them so they won't be as prominent and soon aren't a hindrance at all. He's also providing me with things I need to ensure I'm a good student, like knowledge and practice, as well as hard work to ensure I don't grow a big head." Naruto says with a chuckle before looking towards Matthias. For all intents and purposes he is my brother. But he's also my teacher. So I call him Nai-sensei. Naruto says, turning to look at Kakashi as the Jonin gives an understanding nod. I see, well I'm glad you found someone like that, Naruto. I just wish it could have been me that would have been training you. I'd like you to think of me as your brother as well. Seeing as you know who your father is, you know I was his student. Kakashi says, a little hurt as his heart aches. I know, Kakashi, and don't worry. Just ask Nai-san and I'm sure he'll let you take me on for a day or two or maybe a whole week to train me. Even he needs a break sometimes and I know he wants you to be happy as well. Naruto says, pointing to Matthias, who seems to be reading a message from a messenger hawk. I think I will when Sasuke gets back from training. I have something I need to tell you all anyway and I'll ask him then. Kakashi says, feeling a little better. Naruto would give him a chance at teaching him. At the chatter, ladies, we have company that will be here in 5 hours. We are receiving backup for the duration of the mission due to Zabuza Mamachi. Hiruzen thinks it's a good time to train teammate for joint op missions like this one. Matthias says in an authoritative tone. Sir, hi sir. Naruto says, saluting like a marine. Alright, maggot, at ease. Starting tomorrow we train in your magnet and Mokuton release. I didn't teach you anything today and for that I'm sorry cause I focused on your Keki Genkai. When teammate arrives I'll brief them on the mission specs and set up some training for you and your rival Kiba. Matthias says, patting Naruto on his head, getting a groan of pain from the boy. And that complaining pansy ass. I trained you better than that. Matthias says, giving Naruto a soft pat on the shoulder, making him nod. Thanks sensei, and it's okay. I think this magnet release thing can be awesome. I can send Senbon, kunai and shuriken away with a flick of a wrist and even block swords and weapons by pushing them away or levitating them how I want. It's gonna rock. Naruto says excitedly. Matthias and Kakashi just shrug their shoulders and leave the living room to discuss what Kakashi wants as Naruto thinks of all he can do with his new Keki Genkai. His mind creating images of him casually weaving and dancing through hails of kunai and shuriken unharmed, sending them away as the ladies swoon at his awesomeness. With a goofy grin on his face he just chuckles some and throws his arms up into the air, cheering softly. Yeah, it's gonna be kick-ass. Naruto says as Tsunami comes down from upstairs. That's going to kick-ass, Naruto-kun. Tsunami asks, a little curious as to why the blonde is so energetic given his condition. Huh? Oh, nothing, Tsunami-chan. Just sensei helped me unlock a new Keki Genkai today and its magnet release. I can control metals like shuriken and kunai now and send them away without harming myself. Naruto says, smiling as he looks at her. Oh well, you seem pretty beaten up. I hope your sensei didn't hurt you too badly. I would hate for something to happen to you, Naruto-kun. Tsunami says, a little flush. She smiles at the boy as he gives her a gentle wave and assures her he'll be fine. He stands up and stretches a little bit before looking at her. Tsunami-chan, it looks as if you're going somewhere. Would you like some help? Naruto says with a smile. Of course, Naruto-kun, I'd love some help. I'm going into town to meet a friend of mine and going shopping for things to eat. You might like her actually. She says she's in Uzumaki as well. Tsunami says before heading outside the Hasu with Naruto quickly in tow. Land of Waves, Market District, Vegetable Stand. Naruto and Tsunami walk into the market district and he follows her into the first vegetable shop she sees. Heading inside with her, Naruto looks around and sees barely anything up for sale. Knowing the reason for that, Naruto frowns before hearing Tsunami speak. Hello? Is anyone in? Kushi-chan, I have someone that you might like to meet. Tsunami says happily as someone walks out from the back of the store. Naruto looks at the woman that walks out and only one word comes to his mind. The goddess, Naruto says silently, hoping neither of hear him. The woman in front of his has the fairest and softest looking cream tanned skin he has ever seen on a woman. A nice heart-shaped face lined perfectly with her deep blood red crimson hair that reaches just past her butt. Her plump cup sized breasts seeming to fit snugly inside her dress. As she walks out looking at Tsunami with a smile. Ah, Tsunami-san, it's good to see you. The owner is in the back. I just came by to get my supplies before leaving to free our friends and leave Wave Woes the cute blonde with you. Kushina says, looking towards Naruto with a smile on her face, noticing a Konoha headband on his head. Oh, Kushina-chan, this is Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun, this is Kushina. Tsunami says, introducing them to each other. Hi, my name is Naruto and Naruto Uzumaki. What's your name? Naruto asks, a little embarrassed by the red-headed beauty in front of him as he extends his hand to her. Kushina looks at the blonde in anger as her kai begins rolling off every inch of her body. How dare you speak that name to me, Konoha-nin? How dare you use the name? What is this, some kind of joke? Did one of those asshole jonin from Konoha send you to torment me like some of the others? Answer me. Kushina says, lifting Naruto off the ground by his collar. Kushina's hair lifting into the air and floating around, forming what looks like the tails of Kurama. And no, I swear my mother was in Uzumaki. Her name was Kushina just like you. Kushina, the Crimson Blade Uzumaki. I was told that she left Konoha because of a lie told to her when I was born and no one has seen her, since I don't even know what she looks like. I've been completely alone since I was born until I got my sensei 3 months ago. I understand why she left when what happened. I'd have done the same. I just want to find her so that we can go back to Konoha and live as a family. Naruto says, saddened at that thought while tears slip down his cheeks. In that instant Kushina lets Naruto go, who drops onto the floor as she looks down at the blonde boy in front of her. Noticing the whisker marks on his cheeks and the blonde hair and cerulean blue eyes, she begins to tear up, praying it would be true, but knowing better she forms the ram sign. I don't think so. I won't fall for this again. Not after the first time. Kai. Kushina says, trying to dispel the genjutsu or transformation the nin has in front of her, only for Naruto to stay standing in front of her. She continues repeating Kai, hoping to dispel it, but nothing happens multiple times as her eyes well up with tears. Kushina grabs hold of Naruto and looks at him. She hesitantly reaches her hands forward and begins to rub her thumbs against his whisker marks, forcing Naruto to blush a deep scarlet red as he begins to purr due to the actions of his mother. Looking at Naruto a bit before stabbing herself with a kunai in the arm, seeing if it's all just a dream. Looking at the blood leaking out of the wound after the pain subsides, she just sighs some. Lift your shirt and pump chakra to your stomach please, Naruto. Kushina says a little shakily, hoping to whatever god is making this happen for it to be true. Naruto shrugs his shoulders and lifts his shirt, much to both girls' pleasure. They blush as they see Naruto's extremely well-defined six-pack and core, seeing how firm and strong his muscles are, despite how languid and lithe they are. Kushina and Tsunami both blush red as a little bit of blood drips out of their noses before Kushina shakes her head of the images assaulting her. Naruto channels chakra to his abdomen, and just as Kushina was wishing and praying to the gods, the Shiki Fujin and 8 elemental trigram seal show up on Naruto's stomach, revealing he's a Jinchuriki. Unable to hold back her tears anymore, Kushina tackles Naruto to the floor, crying her eyes out as she pulls Naruto into her body. His face pressing firmly between her silky soft yet firm breasts, bringing him to blush deeply as she holds him in place, crying and speaking. "Oh Kami, Sachi, I'm so sorry I left you in that village. I was so heartbroken when your father stole you from me when I was recovering to reseal the 9-tailed fox, only to hear from Danzo Shimura that you had died because of the sealing along with Minato. I nearly killed myself that night, crying my heart out, praying it wasn't true. I left the village thinking you were dead and swore never to return. I can't believe you were alive all this time. I was such a Kami damned idiot for not reading the scroll sent to me by the third. Please Sachi, can you ever forgive me for my stupidity?" Kushina pleads and begs as she speaks, crying even more as she holds Naruto, afraid that if she lets go, he'll disappear like in her nightmares. Naruto looks up from his position and sees the true and pure agony in his mother's face. He can sense she is telling the truth and is just broken in heart, mind and soul over her actions. He just smiles some and pulls his head from her warm cleavage and does something that surprises everyone in the room. Within a few seconds Naruto pushes his head upward and puts his lips against his mother's in a soft and chaste kiss. It's not one of lust or passion but of love. The kiss calms Kushina down just enough for her to loosen her grip so Naruto can get free, ending the kiss. Already missing the warmth his mother's lips provided, Ijsat smiles at his mother and pulls her into his own hug, nuzzling his head into the nape of her neck. "Of course I forgive you, Ka-san. I could never hate you, not in a million years. Not after what I was told by Kurama. She says that before she was sealed your link was still active and she heard everything Danzo told you. I was mad at first, yes, but Kurama told me the whole story and explained why you left. I would have done the same thing in your place, Ka-san. I love you, Ka-san. I just want you to come back to the village. Please come back to Konoha with me. We could be a real family now," Naruto says as he thinks to himself. "And maybe we can be more." Keeping his thoughts to himself as Kurama just smirks at that thought, Naruto has devising a plan to get them together. "Of course, Sachi. I'll gladly come with you, but I'm planning to free the slaves Gato has in a prison camp to the west in a few hours. Do you think you can help me when I attack them in a week's time?" Kushina says, a little worried as she hopes he agrees. "I can't, Ka-san. I'm protecting Tazuna while he builds the bridge. I can ask my sensei to aid Ya with that though. He's really tough and can tank his way through most damage done to him. Ka-san, I love you, but I need to help Tsunami gather things for dinner tonight. Would you join us please and maybe eat?" Naruto says, hoping she agrees. "Of course, Sachi. I'm never leaving your side again. Never again will I ever let you feel alone. Let's get out of here and have this done with," Kushina says as she wipes the tears out of her reddened eyes due to her crying. Naruto and Kushina let go of one another as they walk hand in hand through a town, going from shop to shop as Tsunami buys the items she needs for dinner. The day, although long, was rather enjoyable for the blonde as he just nuzzles into his mother's side, holding her as they enter Tsunami's house. When they enter, Kakashi looks up from his porn book and sees a sight he never thought he'd see again. His sensei's wife. "Hey Kushina. Why are you here? Kakashi asks honestly stunned. Kakashi? Wow Gaki, you've grown a lot. You're my Sachi-sensei. That's amazing. Kushina says a little happy. No, I'm not Naruto-sensei sadly. That title belongs to Matthias. Kakashi says, pointing to the man sitting naked on the couch snoring away with a bottle of sake in his hand. Kushina sweat drops hearing that, wondering why some drunkard is teaching her Sachi. So that naked drunken idiot is teaching my son. Kushina says annoyed. Hearing himself being called an idiot, Matthias just lifts his head towards her and shows his blindfolded eyes before he speaks. Well, hello there, miss on the Raggedy Ann. My name is fuck all to you and your judgmental views. I'm naked cause I suffered a slight internal injury and wearing anything will exacerbate my pain. And I'm not drunk. This sake bottle was filled with morphine and painkillers. Naruto, it's happening. Matthias says, just sitting there with his head looking towards Naruto. Naruto rubs the bridge of his nose sighing. Sensei, you're an idiot, this is my Kasan. Naruto speaks a little embarrassed. Huh? Oh crap. Matthias says as he races upstairs to put on a new set of cloths. Sorry about that, Kasan. Matthias is a little strange. Things like this rarely happen, but it's pretty funny. He's an amazing teacher. He helped me unlock my Senju blood and my Mokuten Keki Genkai as well as my magnet release. Naruto says to an astonished Kushina. Why you have 2 Keki Genkai? And you already unlocked them? Kushina says, looking at her son with a light blush at how strong her son is. Not just 2. I have 4. 4 Keki Genkai, the other 2 are lava and boil release, but I don't know how to unlock them and neither does Nai-sensei. He's a bit much to handle sometimes with how hard he beats me into the ground during training, not to mention how hard he works to keep me safe while in the village. I love him like a brother, mom, and I know you like him too. Naruto says as Matthias returns downstairs in his usual outfit. Stretching a little bit he smiles as the front door gets knocked on. That must be our reinforcements from Konoha teammate. Kakashi, get the emo from the forest and gather your students. It's time to run them through boot camp, and before you protest just know that if you do argue with me on this, your ass hangs a for rent sign on itself. And just fee, my foot is looking for a room. Matthias says with finality in his voice, making both Naruto and Kakashi shudder before Kakashi nods furiously before sunshining out of the house to gather his genin. Wow, that was kind of hot. Tsunami says as she heads to the kitchen to prepare the large dinner she has to make as Math Ace opens the door letting Kurina Yuhi and her team inside the house. Welcome teammate to Wave. Kurina, you and your genin are to wait here until Kakashi arrives with his genin team. I have to brief everyone on the situation. Redhead, I can tell you've had training so I'd like you to be present as well to offer help. For now just relax, alright. Matthias says as Shino and Naruto sit on the couch while Matthias leaves upstairs with Kurina to show her to her room. Shino, it's good to see you. Naruto says looking to Shino as he remains stoic. Likewise Naruto, I have missed you while you were gone my friend. Shino says while adjusting his glasses. Yeah, likewise man. I've been really busy with my sensei. He's amazing at what he does. How are your Kakechu, Shino? Are they hungry? Naruto asks a little curious. They have been a little hungry lately, yes. They are draining me like always, but they seem to hold back. Why do you ask? Shino looks over to Naruto already knowing where this is going. Come on Shino, you were my first and only friend when I started at the academy and even before then. Let your Kakechu out and let them feast on me, okay? I have plenty of chakra so they can just pig out. Naruto says happily pounding onto his chest as Shino nods in agreement. Shino watching the interactions of the Aburam and her son as bugs cascade out of his jacket sleeves and cover Naruto near completely. Naruto, thank you for this. I always found you to be one of my only friends since you never judged me cause of my burden. My bugs seem to like you a lot too, and not just for your chakra. Shino says with a rare smile, gracing his lips behind his rather high-collared jacket. Yeah, it's no problem Shino. Honestly this tickles and I'm glad I can help you and your bugs. We share similar burdens you know. Naruto says a little happy. Happy Shino still sees him as himself rather than Kurama when he told him a few weeks ago about being her Jinchuriki. Sachi, who's your friend? Kushina says a little worried she may be intruding. Oh Ka-san, this is Shino Aburam. He's my oldest and dearest friend. He was the only kid that ever knew what it was like to be alone growing up despite having a family. We met one day at a playground and he was playing alone with his Kakechu when I walked up to him. Naruto says smiling some as he looks to Shino who nods. Naruto-san just walked up to me and Kakechu without fear or hatred and asked if I wanted to play with him and that I could bring my bugs. When I asked him why he just said he wanted to make a friend. And my hive took a liking to him and his chakra so we just sorta started hanging out regularly after that. Although I don't show my emotions, Naruto is not just one of the few friends I have. He's also my best friend. Shino says before patting Naruto on the back. I'm glad you and my Sachi are friends. I'm Kushina Uzumaki, Naruto's mother. I'm sure you're wondering why I left. She says a little saddened knowing he'll probably hate her. Not really. Father explained that you probably thought something went wrong with Naruto's ceiling. After Naruto told me of Kyuubi I asked my father and he told me you must have thought it was a failure with how you were crying when you left the village. Shino says casually as his bugs once again return to him full of chakra and no longer hungry. I'm glad you understand. So Sachi, how had the village treated you? I probably can guess about it, but I just need to know. Kushina asks Naruto. His face tells her all she needs to know as he looks to the floor heartbroken as Shino pats and rubs his back, getting Naruto to cheer up some. Don't worry Ka-san. It doesn't matter anymore. Not since I got Nai-sensei and now you. Naruto says as he stands up only to be tackled to the floor by Kiba. Naruto dude. I haven't seen you in nearly 2 months. You owe me a spar. Hey who's the babe? Gasp don't tell me this beauty is your girlfriend. Dude you lucky dog. Kiba says a little happy chuckling as he punches Naruto in the arm. Kushina blushes a deep red at the way Kiba insinuates the relation between her and Naruto. Her mind flips to the kiss she shared with him in the vegetable shop in town, and her blush deepens before shaking it from her head as Naruto answers. I know we haven't seen each other Kiba. I've been training with sensei. A spar is alright, but tomorrow since I'm beat and this babe as you call her is not my girlfriend. No matter how much I wish. He says leaving that last part in his mind as he blushes at his beautiful mother. No, she's my mother Kushina Uzumaki. I met her today in town. Naruto says with a smile before hugging her tightly. Oh okay well it's good to meet you. I'm Kiba Inuzuka and Naruto and I are rivals. Kiba says happily pointing to himself before the dog in his jacket barks. And this is Akamaru and he's my partner. Akamaru barks happily in agreement before licking Kiba's chin. As this happens, Kakashi walks into the house with his genin and Kurenai and Matthias walk downstairs looking around at everyone before everyone takes a seat while Matthias begins. Alright now that everyone is here we can begin. Gato is draining this country's money and resources dry and enslaving women and children into sex slave rings and normal slave worker rings. He's hired some real strong Nukenin to guard himself and kill Tazuna. Me Naruto and Team 7 took the job originally to protect him. Matthias says a little happy that they are paying attention. Kurenai, you and Team 8 were sent to learn how to work on joint ops like this. Kurenai, you Hinata Kiba and Shino will watch Tazuna on the bridge tomorrow and will switch off with Team 7. Team 7, you will be taught by me tomorrow in a few things, only to then trade off with Team 8 while you guard Tazuna. Matthias says getting the usual HN from the emo and a squeal from Sakura at how cool her Sasuke-kun is. For the rest of the week Team 8 and 7 will switch off on guarding Tazuna and the bridge while I act as Team 7 substitute sensei. Kakashi you will be teaching Naruto a few things this week. Kurenai, you and I shall supplement your team's training to be adequate for what's to come. So look forward to guard duty runs. Kami knows that you're going to wish you were dead when I begin training you. Matthias says before turning his gaze to the mother-son duo who are just relaxing with each other. Kushina, I know where the slaves are and word around town was you were going to free them. You're taking Kakashi and Naruto with you to help when you make your move, no exceptions. Tonight I'll scout out Gato's mansion and steal his documents and raid his safe and steal all his money back. Matthias says looking around getting nods from everyone. Kurenai just looks at Matthias with a calculative gaze before nodding her head some agreeing. Kakashi soon does the same with Kushina following suit as she holds onto Naruto as he sits in her lap leaning into her chest, bringing them both to blush. Now onto two important matters. Zabuza is still alive and will most likely attack the bridge when he is healed and ready to go. Matthias says shocking Team 7 while Naruto just looks at his mother with a smile. But he died. That hunter nin finished him off after you beat him. Sakura says a little worried. Sakura, you are supposed to be book smart. What do hunter nins do to the bodies of the Nukenin they kill? Naruto asks her a little annoyed. Shut up Naruto baka. Everyone knows they destroy the body after cutting off the head. Sakura says while getting a death glare from Kushina. Exactly but the hunter nin took Zabuza's body away along with the sword. When law of all elemental nations decrees that the shinobi that kills or incapacitates the enemy nin or missing nin gets full custody of all items on the now beaten nin's body. Naruto says as Sakura begins putting two and two together. He's right Sakura. That hunter nin took Zabuza and Kubikirabachi away and is most likely a fake only there to aid Zabuza. Besides unless used right senbon only incapacitate the human body due to pressure points. Otherwise they are used to put allies in a near-death state to fool enemy nin. Kakashi says with an eye smile as he pulls out his newest Icha book. Dinner is ready everyone. There's plenty because of Matthias and his hunting, so please eat up. Tsunami says as everyone gathers and begins eating dinner. The dinner goes by rather smoothly till Inari walks into the dining area looking at everyone before speaking. Why do you all try so hard? You're just gonna die. Inari says. What was that kid? Naruto says a little confused. You're all going to die. Gato is too strong for you all. You're just going to die if you go against him, so why bother? Inari says, annoyed at T-Blonde. None of you know what it's like to suffer. You all come from a pampered lifestyle safe in a good and wealthy village. I bet none of you know what the real meaning of suffering is like. Inari yells. Suddenly the room drops in temperature as Naruto sets his bowl of rice and teriyaki chicken on the table. I don't know suffering, huh kid, is that it? Naruto says, angry as his kai begins to spike. Yeah, so just give up. You're gonna die. You don't know the meaning of suffering, not with the way you are with that redhead. Inari claims, pointing to Kushina. Kid, I know what it's like to suffer. So does my sensei. I've suffered my whole life. Since the day I was born I was an orphan. No one wanted to adopt me. Even in the orphanage all the kids and adults used to beat me simply cause it was fun. I was abused mentally, physically and verbally. Growing up was pure hell. When I was 4 years old, I was hurled out of the orphanage onto the street cause they didn't want the demon child anymore. I was forced to live on the streets in cardboard boxes, eating out of the garbage just to survive for 2 whole years. Naruto says, red with anger. In that time I was always hunted down and beaten, stabbed, burned, poisoned, electrocuted, drowned and even tortured by drunks and idiots looking to kill the demon child. I've lived like that every day of my life and even had to run from assassination attempts on my life before I was given an apartment in the red light district of Konoha. It was strange, the drug dealers, junkies, whores and pimps all treated me like I was human. Even knowing what I held they never cared and even protected me from mobs when they could. Naruto says, tears welling up in his eyes. It's funny, the scum of the earth by all accounts, and they treated me better than normal people. Hell, there were even 2 Chunin in the village that also helped me at times when my birthday came along and people were in a rage trying to kill me. I remember every time they came to help. I remember the worst of it though, hundreds if not thousands of villagers armed with katanas, kamas, hookswords, kunai and other various weapons and blunt instruments were all chasing me down to kill me. Izumo Kamizuki and Katetsu Hagane, the so-called eternal gate guards of Konoha, always chased me down on my birthday and brought me to the safety of the gates while keeping me safe the rest of the day till it was safe to go home. They even killed a few hundred villagers that got too ballsy for their own good. After it was all said and done they even escorted me home and gave me gifts saying happy birthday. Naruto says as the tears begin falling from his eyes. It only got worse when I joined the ninja academy as everything the villagers and some shinobi did increased in occurrence. My life was so horrible every day I woke up I had to convince myself that it was worth it. Even though that same day every day I attempted suicide. Every day it went on like that from when I was 6 till I was 12. I tried to numb the pain, but I couldn't get away hiding behind my mask of the hyperactive knucklehead. The games I had to play and the hell I had to pay was cause of something completely out of my control, and yet no one gave a shit. Naruto said, once again becoming angry as his kai spikes up again, making everyone in the room but Matthias and Kushina flinch. I still remember that every day I sliced open my arms long and deep to bleed to death. That never worked and so I slit my own throat over 100 times, hoping that the next time I do it, it would be the last, only to wake up within a few hours and cry myself to sleep alone in an empty and broken down ransacked apartment. I even jumped off the Hokage monument more times than I could count and even hung myself to try and end the pain. Nothing seemed to work and the gods seemed to wanted to torture me. I barely made it through life to graduate the ninja academy and when I finally did I got a sensei who actually gives a shit about how I feel and who I am. And that was only 3 months ago. I just found my mother today so I don't know what it's like to suffer. No, I know suffering all too well. If given the choice of living in hell or Konoha I'd pick hell since it would be far less painful than Konoha. So no, I know suffering, but you? No, you don't know what real suffering is. You have a family that loves you. A roof over your head and food in your stomach. So fuck you and your I don't know suffering. Naruto says, pissed off beyond belief before walking out of the room to the living room, opening the front door. Nai-sensei, I'm going to train. Keep everyone the fuck away from me unless you want them to die. Naruto says, slamming the door hard enough to rock the entire house as Inari stares shuddering as he throws up all over the floor at the story while Kushina, Tsunami and most of the others look at where he was sitting crying rather heavily. Tsunami looks to Matthias as well as Kushina and Tsunami asks. His life, it couldn't have truly been that bad, could it? I mean all that stuff, it's just. There's no way that it could have happened, right? Tsunami asks as Sakura just looks to Matthias along with everyone else. He showed me his memories when he allowed a Yamanaka to use a joint mind build jutsu so I could better understand him. Let me tell you this, what he just said isn't true. Matthias says as everyone breathes a sigh of relief. I knew it, that Baka is just trying to take the spotlight with lies so everyone will feel bad for him. Mom was right, he's just a pathetic demon and a loser. Sakura says before Matthias leaps over the table, Superman punching her in the face, sending her through the window behind her outside, crashing into a tree before Matthias yells. His life was a million times worse than what he said. T-Hat little outburst was the sugar-coated version. If he really said how his life was, his explanation just now would make you think his life was all ponies and rainbows. Everyone at the table just looks at the food. Not really wanting to eat anymore, everyone leaves the kitchen and dining room area as Inari runs upstairs, crying his eyes out to think over what Naruto had said, while others just try and think about something else until sleep grabs them. Next morning, Naruto's impromptu training ground. Naruto lays sleeping against a rather large tree he had grown training his Mokuton. The training ground around him looks like a war zone of the highest caliber, as craters line the area with broken, upturned, burned, shattered, and even crushed kunai-filled trees litter the area. The entire area seems to have been decimated while Naruto sleeps peacefully. After a short time, a woman wearing a pink floral kimono walks up, seeing the boy in the field. That's the ninja that helped fight against Zabuza. I can kill him now and save us the trouble later. Haku thought as she grabbed a kunai and began walking towards Naruto. Standing above him, she gets onto her knees and stares at him, hesitating a little bit as she sighs. Not able to kill him, she just tosses the kunai away and shakes Naruto, waking him up. "Wake up, ninja-san, you shouldn't sleep out here, you could catch a cold," Haku says in a sweet voice. "Huh? Oh, hi there. Nah, I'm fine, I was just training is all," Naruto says as he stretches, thinking to himself, "She smells like that fake hunter nin that grabs Zabuza. She must be his helper." Training? This place looks like it's a war zone, Haku said incredulously as she looks around. "Yeah, I was kinda also blowing off some steam," Naruto said sheepishly as he rubs the back of his head. "Well, anyway, why are you out here in wave? It's dangerous, you know," Haku said, smiling. "I know it is, but I can handle myself, miss," Naruto asks, a little curious. "Haku, my name is Hakuyuki," Haku says with a smile. "Ah well Haku, I'm fine out here cause I'm trained. But what are you doing out here?" Naruto asks, already knowing. "I'm out here gathering herbs to help an injured friend heal. He is quite sick and I just wanted to help him along," Haku said, tilting her head, giving Naruto a soft and caring grin. "Well, that's nice. You want any help? I'm done with training and I'm sure I can spare some time gathering herbs with you." "That would be wonderful," Haku says as she looks at him. Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto says, smiling as he pats Haku on the shoulder. "Well Naruto, I would be glad to have help grabbing some herbs," Haku says, smiling some as she and Naruto walk around grabbing herbs. In that time, Naruto and Haku share the stories of their pasts, omitting some major things, but still leaving enough to know that they are just alike in being alone. After 3 hours, the herbs are gathered and Haku gives Naruto a hug before turning to walk away. "Oh, by the way, Haku-chan, tell Zabuza that my sensei looks forward to a rematch, and if he wants, you and Zabuza can come back to Konoha with us," Naruto says, disappearing in bright yellow flash as Haku turns around with a curious gaze on her face. Azuna's house, 9 a.m. Naruto walks through the doors of tea house, only to be tackled in an instant by a quick red blur. The red-headed Uzumaki woman just holds him tightly as she is lessing to his chest. Her eyes puffy and red as if she had been crying all night. The woman just holds him in her grip, sighing and constantly saying "I'm sorry Sachi" over and over again. Naruto just smiles softly and rubs the woman's back before kissing her cheeks, then head saying to her, "Ah-chan, it's okay honestly. As bad as it was, I wouldn't change a thing about it cause it made me who I am today. I love you Ka-san, I could never hate you no matter what. Just like I won't hate Auntie Tsunade either. Now please stop crying. I hate seeing gorgeous woman so sad," Naruto said as he rubs her cheek tenderly, getting Kushina to blush once again before burying her head into her Sasuke's chest, smiling some happy that he doesn't hate her. Holding her son close, she just sighs and lets him go as she gets up and pulls him up with her. Naruto stretches once more before wrapping his arms around his rather tall mother, nuzzling his face into her stomach as he smiles, taking in her scent gently as his face flushes pink while thinking. She smells like vanilla and cinnamon. His head stopping just short of her breasts due to his small stature. Kushina just holds her son in her grasp, smiling as she just slides her hands up and down against his back. He has such well-defined muscles despite them being as lithe as they are. He truly is strong despite how he looks. As Kakashi comes down from upstairs on the scene and gives an eye smile. "Oh, look at that. Mother and son in a loving embrace as it should be. Naruto, I hope you're doing alright after last night's outburst," Kakashi says as a red-faced mother and son separate from their embrace. "Why yeah, I'm fine, just needed to blow off some steam." "Where's my sensei?" Naruto asks as Kushina smiles, some rubbing his head. "Levias went out to Gato's mansion last night while you were training. He really did a number on that place cause the smoke barely stopped 2 hours ago. He's outside right now training my team while I guard Tsunami as Kushina plans for the warehouse attack," Kakashi says, pulling out his orange book. "Yeah, sounds like Nai-sensei. I'll go see him now, thanks Kakashi-sensei," Naruto says as he leaves the house. Kushina's eyes locking onto her son's firm ass as she blushes some with a small trail of blood leaking out her nose. Looks like someone's into some real naughty things, Kashina. Kakashi smirks as his eyebrows quirk at her. Shut up, Kakashi. I do not like my son that way. I don't care if he looks like Kami damned heartthrob. He's my Sachi and that's how I want it to stay. Databang, Kashina says a little embarrassed. You say something, Kashina? Kakashi says, looking up from his book, swearing he can hear Guy yell out, damn you and your hip cool attitude. Kakashi. Outside with Team 7. Nai-sen, where are you? Naruto asks as a rather large explosion is heard and Team 7 is sent hurling towards him in an unconscious smoking heap at his feet. Humongous maggots. Is that the best you got? Naruto got through this exercise in only an hour and you tards can't even get through it in 3. Pathetic. What you need daddy to hold your hand and tell you ya did a good job. Oh hey Itaudo, feeling any better? Matthias asks concerned for his little brother. Yeah tons, you're playing dodge the exploding clone again aren't you sensei? Naruto asks a little giddy. Yeah but these freaking slow ass stains can't even do that right. Matthias says as Team 7 comes to. You know sensei, I like this game for many reasons. But the main one is because this game is a form of art. And as you know, art is an explosion, Katsu. Naruto says as he turns bright white only to explode a second later, leaving a crater and slightly burned and beaten TAM7. The Megacur hidden base. Achoo. Deidara sneezes once more before blushing softly and smiling. Deidara, are you okay? Conan asks her fellow female teammate. Oh me, yes I'm fine. I just got that husband feeling again. Someone truly understands me and what art is really about. I don't care how old he is or what nation he's from. I will marry him. Deidara says with her eyes burning with determination. Oh well, that's nice, maybe we can introduce his fucking ass to Jashin and have her bless him with her gift so he can fucking survive your shitty art and be that much better for you. Hayden states with a smile. Hayden, I will show you the true meaning of art later. For now let me dream of my future husband. Deidara replies, just relaxing in the sealed off onsen with Conan at her side. Maybe I will go with you to meet him. Conan states rather coldly as always. Maybe. I certainly don't mind sharing him. A real man needs to have many needs met, not just intellectual. Hey Hayden, you hear that even you can meet him and satisfy a need even if you don't have a working brain. Deidara says with a laugh as Hayden growls with a blush, looking away from the duo. Back with Team 7. Team 7 groans as the real Matthias and Naruto come out from behind a few trees, laughing at the misfortune of Team 7. Haha sensei, that was awesome. I love playing dodge the exploding clone. Naruto says, slapping his knee as he laughs. Shut up Naruto. Just cause you got used to this psychopath's training doesn't mean we can. Sakura said, oddly missing Tibaka's suffix as well as the punch to the head. Naruto, how do you survive this guy? He's fucking insane, his training, his speeches, his unfair sparring. It makes no sense. Sasuke says, grabbing Naruto's collar in fear. Oh come now, what fun is there in making sense? Matthias's voice distorts as Sasuke's world seems to morph into darkness before he's hit with the most horrible image his young mind has ever seen. His brother Itachi, Mito Guy, Rock Lee and his father all in skin-tight green bikinis. Hugging tightly onto one another in front of a sea-bearing cliff as the waves crash against the rocks, creating a soft golden mist while the sun sets in the distance. All 4 men holding tightly onto one another, screaming about the power of youth and nuzzling tightly into one another. The image forces Sasuke's eyes to flash red with a single tomo in each eye before reverting to normal. The image forever being burned into his brain at that instant. He comes to as the 4 men then turn and face Sasuke and about to pull him into a hug before he wakes up and at the top of his lungs screams. Ah. The scream puts the Banshee's entire family to shame as it reaches throughout the entire village they are in as it stretches outward towards the different nations. Kashina, you need to attack the missing nin first. Well the hell is that? Kakashi says. Alright you 4, now while you're protecting me and the workers, I'll also need you to help out by bringing tools and materials to the what the hell was that? Tazuna says as the confused Jenin and Jonin shrug their shoulders. Anahagakure no Sato. Finally, I'm finished with this damned paperwork and can relax for a while. Take that you evil, the fuck is that? Hiruzen says a little confused as he lights his pipe. Megacure no Sato, Onisen. I didn't calm down and stop pouting, I was only kidding. Deidara says with a smile, patting her Kunoichi friend on the back. Yeah Hayden, I'm sure Deidara's mystery husband would be happy to play with a zombie. Conan says as she leans back. Besides, if I think he is the way I imagine, he would love to bend you over a table, just ram himself inside your Deidara says until the noise hits them even through the silencing seal. What the fucking shit is that noise? Hayden says. I think my husband just showed another what true art is. Deidara says dreamily. Kumagakure no Sato. Kumagakure's cage is sitting in his office trying to battle his most hated enemy in a fight of life and death. A monumental battle that would surely determine the fate of all the inhabitants of Kumagakure. His most feared and powerful enemy, Paperwork. Brah, I swear one of these days I will find a way to defeat you, Paperwork. The Reikage says this. He looks away to the tall 2-foot stack of papers in the inbox, waiting to be read and to be cinched. He sighs and looks at his outbox, seeing only a 1-foot tall stack. He shakes his head and rubs his temples as he hears something. What on Kami's muscled earth was that? He asks himself before looking back towards the stack of papers in the inbox. The stack has already gone in size to 8 feet, forcing the Reikage to stare in disbelief. In his rage and juiced blind fury, he just destroys most of the papers while hurling his desk out his window and across 3 elemental nations, where it crashes into Konoha's Uchiha district, destroying the roof of one certain Uchiha. He then swears as loud as he can to heavens. "I, Kami, Yami and the Shinigami, I hereby swear to lariat the asshole that caused that scream across an entire hidden village. That'll show him to not quadruple my workload," says as his secretary brings in a new desk and a new slightly smaller stack of paperwork, seeing that the first one is to send a team to the Chunin exams in Konohagakure, signing off on his approval. Back with Team 7. Sasuke's brain snaps in two, forcing his eyes to change in reality, bringing to life his Sharingan eyes with single Tomo in each eye. The scream lasts for over an hour before Sasuke takes a deep breath and passes out with what looks like his soul escaping his mouth as Sakura begins crying as her Sasuke-kun might be dying. "Oh no, you don't, dumbus," Matthias says as he grabs the white apparition-like thing seeping from Sasuke's mouth, only to slam it back into his face, waking Sasuke up from his Genjutsu-induced death coma. "You're not dying till I say you're dying, ya fucking asshat," Matthias says, walking away from Sasuke. "Oh, by the way, congratulations. You've finally unlocked your pink eye. We'll talk to Kakashi about the change in plans," Matthias says, hitting Sasuke in the head with a mirror. Sasuke grabs the mirror and places his hands just under his eyes, looking at himself, smirking happily. "Looks like I have to thank you, Matthias. Cause of you I now have the power I need to kill my brother," Sasuke says arrogantly before standing up and walking away with Naruto and the others towards Tazuna's house. "Mama, Matthias, what was that noise? It was fucking loud." Kakashi asks, a little worried for his team. "Nothing happened. I trained them like I said I would," Matthias says, a little bored. "Trained? You call playing dodge the exploding clone training?" A loudmouth Banshee screams. "Yes I do. It's called stamina and endurance training, you idiots," Matthias says, smiling. "Kakashi, cause of the Dobe's teacher I was able to unlock my Sharingan," Sasuke says, switching his normal eyes to his Dojutsu with a happy smirk. "Oh, that's great, Sasuke-kun. Tell me, how did he do it?" Kakashi asks, a little excited. Sasuke turns deathly ill and pale as he remembers what happened, shuddering as he curls up in the fetal position, holding himself as he rocks from side to side. All Kakashi can pick up is one word and one word only: youth. "Matthias, what the hell did you do to him?" Kakashi asks, a little worriedly. "Nothing, I just showed him there was no fun in making sense and played a game to help increase his stamina and endurance," Matthias said, walking away with Naruto and Kushina. Kushina holding on to Naruto lovingly as she nuzzles into him, and he does the same for her. As the week goes by, the plan set forth by Matthias goes off without a hitch. The slaves are freed, Gato's mansion is in ruins, and his entire safe was cleaned out along with his papers and transaction documents. The two teams Matthias trains with seem to improve dramatically with Naruto's help in playing the various games, such as Dodge the Exploding Clone, Duck, Dodge or Die, and even a simple game of Hide from the Monster. Matthias and Kakashi along with Kushina help Naruto train just a little more than normal in his new magnet release Keki Genkai. As the week rolls on, Kushina and Naruto spend the entire time together. Normally mother and son spending time together would not be so bad, but it seems they are getting a little bit closer than a mother should with her son. The way they sit together with Naruto in her lap and her arms wrapped around his waist. The way they talk together, and even how they sleep in the same room snuggled up to one another. They even went out on the town once or twice to a restaurant. All seemed to be going perfect for the mother-son duo. They were walking to Tazuna's house after eating at one restaurant when a random citizen mentioned how sweet it is that an older woman is in love with such a handsome young man. That rocked them both out of their perspective worlds to examine how they act. The thoughts bring a deep red blush to both of their faces as they raced home. In the meantime, the whole week, Matthias, having an idea about how Naruto can control many various metals with his Keki Genkai, thinks it would be a good idea to get some different metal dusts and see if he can manipulate it. Shrugging off his thoughts, Matthias and the two teams plus Kushina set up for the bridge, knowing what is going to happen. Kushina and Naruto will stay behind at the house in the morning, and Team 7 and 8 will be at the bridge defending Zabuza as Matthias takes out any thugs that might show up during the fights. Breaking away for the last night, they all head to the bedrooms knowing what is to come. The next morning the teams break off and go to their respective jobs. As they do that, after a few hours, two samurai break into Tazuna's house to kidnap Tsunami and kill Inari, only to be killed by Kushina and Naruto. Kushina votes to stay behind while Naruto races off to the bridge. And same thing happens in canon on the bridge, only Shino in place of Naruto and Kurenai is helping with Zabuza. Naruto just arrives at the bridge as a dome of ice mirrors seems to sprout from the wet bridge. Naruto looks at Sakura and Sai, seeing Kiba and Hinata in a diamond formation around Tazuna to protect him. Naruto runs forward and smiles, asking Tazuna, "Hey Tazuna, what's up? How's everything here?" Tazuna looks at Naruto, smiles. "Nothing Naruto, your friends in the dome could use some help though, think you should do something?" Tazuna asks, a little worried for their safety. "Hey, I'll join in with Shino. Guys, just stay here and keep Tazuna safe, okay?" Naruto says as he darts off and jumps into the dome of ice, landing next to Shino. Both Shino and Sasuke looking a bit worse for wear. More Shino than Sasuke because Sasuke has his Sharingan active to dodge the Senbon heading towards them and cause he's been using Shino as a shield some of the time. "Hey Shino, team, how are you two holding up?" Naruto asks, a little worried for his best friend. "I'm fine Naruto, just a little worse for wear." "But why didn't you attack from outside the dome?" Shino says a little matter-of-factly. "Oh, I wasn't thinking." Naruto says sheepishly as Shino sweat drops. "Stupid dope, we don't need you here. I'm doing fine on my own. Take Bug Boy with you." Sasuke says arrogantly as always. "Sasuke, we need to work together." "You can't take him," Shino says before getting cut off. "Shut up, loser. I don't need to work with anyone. I'm an Uchiha elite. No one is above me and I will win." Sasuke says as full of himself as ever. "If you three are quite done, I'd like to get back to killing you for Zabuza-sama." Haku says from inside the mirror as she hurls Ice Senbon at the three of them. Naruto dodging them all easily as Sasuke gets hit while Shino is able to dodge with Naruto. This goes on for a while till Naruto and Shino both nod their heads, coming up with a plan as they dodge the ice needles. Sasuke, taking most of the hits, just grunts angrily at how easily Shino and Naruto are able to dodge the Senbon assault. "I grow tired of this game. I'm going to end it all with this next move. One of you will surely die to it." Haku says, forming hand signs before calling out. "Suiten Sensatsu Sushim, water release. 1,000 flying water needles of death." As Haku says that, the weight around them lifts into the air, forming ice senbons, all barreling towards the three in the ice dome. Naruto easily dodges those coming for him as Shino is a little slower on the uptake but is able to clear himself out of the ice dome, dodging the senbon. Sasuke is left inside the dome with Naruto while he rages. Sasuke is about to get hit when his eyes lock onto Shino. Sasuke smirks rather evilly as his Sharingan aims for Shino. In an instant, Sasuke Kawarimis substitution himself with Shino outside the dome. Shino takes the full brunt of the ice senbon assault as Naruto glances over to Shino and time stops completely as his heartbeat thunders in his head. One of his only 3 friends and his best and oldest friend is impaled by at least a few hundred senbon all over his body as it falls to the earth motionless. Naruto's eyes well up with tears as he sees his friend's body laying unmoving on the bridge where Sasuke used to be standing, only to look outside the mirrors and see a smirking Sasuke with a big shit-eating grin on his face. Naruto growls fiercely as he looks at figure in the ice mirrors. The figure inside the mirrors seems to be astonished someone would do something so evil as to substitute himself with a comrade to escape death from an attack. Naruto screams at the top of his lungs as something inside his mind snaps. His eyes running over with tears and heartache as he screams at the top of his lungs. Imton. Shakugaken, lava release. Scorching armored fist. Naruto's entire arm is encased in thick lava as he races forward and slams his fist into the ice mirror, sending Haku barreling out of the ice mirror, destroying the technique and knocking Haku unconscious before turning to face Sasuke. In his rage, Naruto fails to notice Shino's arm twitch. Naruto runs at Sasuke and slams his still lava-covered fist into Sasuke's head. The force of the attack burning Sasuke slightly as he is hurled towards Zabuza and the others, crashing into Kakashi, who was about to Rikiri Zabuza in the heart. Looking over to the battle of the Genin, Zabuza sees an irate Naruto and unconscious Haku and Shino looking like a pincushion. Naruto races forward only to be dropped to the floor with a spin kick to his feet and locked in a headlock by Matthias, who pins him to the bridge as he thrashes around. "Let go of me, sensei." That team killed Shino by using him for a substitution, Naruto yells at his sensei while he struggles to get free, trying to push his sensei off. Sasuke just stands up and sticks his tongue out at Naruto. "That loser should feel proud he was able to save the life of an Uchiha elite like myself. It's all any of you worthless pions are good for." Sasuke says, snickering as his Dojutsu is out in the open. Naruto just growls more fiercely as his body is coated in a thick red-orange cloak of chakra. Naruto begins forming hand signs at a rapid pace as his body goes on instinct and he yells out, "Fun! Kumu no Jutsu, boil release. Skilled mist technique." As Naruto says that, Zabuza's eyes widen as Kakashi's dogs dispel and he grabs Kurenai, jumping out of the way. Knowing the damage that jutsu can do, he immediately gets the Genjutsu mistress out of the way to save her from the deadly mist. Kakashi dodges the violent stream of mist that erupts outwards towards himself and the others, leaving Sasuke alone for the moment. Naruto forms the ram sign and lowers the pH levels of the mist, making Sasuke close his eyes and scream out in pain as his skin begins to flake, peel and dissolve right off his body. As he screams, Naruto smiles happily before he feels something. Looking back, Naruto's previous jutsu dissipates away to nothing, leaving a badly fucked up Sasuke as he falls forward, passing out. A hand lays on Naruto's back. The hand of a friend. Shino is standing next to Naruto with his hand on his back, rubbing it softly in a way to soothe his angered friend. Naruto's Biju cloak immediately fades when he sees Shino's hand burning. Matthias gets off of Naruto and allows Naruto to bring Shino into a tight embrace, hugging his best friend tightly. As Shino, how did you survive that? Naruto asks, a little worried if this is a genjutsu. Naruto, my Kakachu are just beneath my skin and in my hands, hiding inside my chakra network. A few bugs like the hive just under my skin lessen the effects of the senbon. They were located at points on my body to render me incapacitated for the duration of a few hours. Because they were in the way, my Kakachu took the blows and the senbon only knocked me unconscious momentarily. That jutsu is normally used to kill without mercy, but whoever that ninja is who used it, they only wanted to make sure I wasn't able to fight rather than wanting me dead. Shino says, a little out of breath. As Shino, that team used you for substitution so he could escape. I just lost it. I couldn't stand knowing you died cause of that bastard. I was going to kill him. I was going to kill him for you. Naruto says, worried about what his friend would say and think. Naruto-san, I'm glad you would react that way. It is not often my clansmen meet someone such as you who is loyal to a fault when it comes to friendships. If he had done the same and used you instead of me, I would have killed Sasuke as well. Shino says as Matthias gets off his student, allowing Shino to help him off the ground. Naruto puts Shino's arm over his shoulder and walks him back towards Tazuna as Kakashi grabs Sasuke and drags his unconscious form out of the way as Zabuza joins up next to Haku, who is just staring at Naruto, wondering if he would do the same for her. Man, I may be the demon of the mist, but even I never sacrificed a comrade like that in battle. It's unthinkable to everyone with honor or real power. Zabuza says while looking at Naruto. So Zabuza, are you ready to take me up on my offer and join us? Matthias says, looking at the injured Nukenin. Maybe that's only if you know who shows up. Zabuza says as he kneels by Haku, who gets up and walks to Naruto, taking off her mask. Naruto looks at her and smiles some before hugging her tightly to himself. Thank you for not killing Shino, Haku. He's one of the few precious people I have in my life. I'm happy you only fought to subdue and not to kill. Naruto says as he holds the blushing Kunoichi as she pats his back. As this is going on, everyone hears the slow clapping of some snickering man in the background. Everyone turns around to see Gato and no less than 400 thugs on the bridge, all wielding katanas, wakizakis and various other bladed weapons. Gato just laughs and looks at everyone. So the demon of the mist can't even fight against a few brats or decent ninja. Shame, really? Oh well, it's not like I was going to pay you anyway. Gato says evilly with a horrible smirk on his face. Gato, what are you doing here? And what do you mean you weren't going to pay us? Zabuza says a little angry. I mean what I say. You're too expensive, so I found some people who would do the job cheaply. Men kill everyone except the women. For every ninja you kill you get triple pay, and those who capture the women, well, you can have your fun with them and get 10 times more when I sell them as slaves. Gato says as the thugs all cheer and begin running across the large distance to get to the ninja. Zabuza, Kakashi, Naruto, Shino, Haku, Kurenai, you all are too tired from your fights or need to look after your friends. I'll handle the thugs alone like I said I would. Zabuza, give me your blade. I need to borrow it for now. Matthias says with a rather sickly devilish tone. Alright, just so you know, Kubikirabacho has been itching for blood. Be sure to not spare anyone but Gato. I'm sure I can find a good way to kill him. Zabuza says, handing Matthias Kubikirabacho. Sorry, but I'm killing Gato, Zabuza. I have the perfect attack for it too. Matthias says as he hefts Kubikirabacho into the air as if it was a feather. He charges forward into the thugs, and what happens next will remain in the astonished eyes and minds of everyone around, and even the people in the village that came with Inari to help Naruto and the others as they come up on the scene forever. Matthias, hailed as the S-rank ninja Death Punch, begins lightly dancing around the bridge, dodging and weaving the attacks of the thugs around him. Matthias throws Kubikirabacho into the air, and as it falls he grabs it when it gets in range and slashes a thug in half before tossing both the thug's weapon and his own into the air. Repeating this process of dodging and juggling the weapons he gets after killing the thugs, he is soon tossing and juggling between axes, swords, maces, katanas, hamas and even a scythe, numbering into the triple digits, just continuing to add onto his own body and weapon count, expertly weaving and dancing around the spraying blood, not letting a drop get anywhere near him as he sways and moves through the crowd like an angel of death. When the last thug falls, Matthias catches Kubikiri Bacho in his hand and lets the blood rain down around him, soaking the bridge in gore as he dodges the falling droplets and weapons, all of which land in a uniform formation, leading all the way back towards the gathered townspeople and shinobi. Sauntering over to Gato, who is now panicking, wondering what he is going to do, Matthias merely smiles happily before leaning down to meet Gato eye to eye. "Please, I'll give you anything. Just let me live. You want money, it's yours. You want woman. I got plenty that you can't have. Power. I own the biggest shipping company in all the known nations, men." At the mention of all this, Matthias's smile turns to a frown of disgust. When Gato says men, he knows he has to end it now. He forms the snake and then ram hand signs and smiles as he calls out, "Mokutan. Shinpan Tsuru Yari would release. Judgment Vine Spears." As Matthias throws his hands forwards, 2 wooden spear heads attached to vines explode out of Matthias's hands and impale Gato in the torso. Gato, standing still unable to move, just widens his eyes in fear as Matthias laughs manically before charging Kaiten Chakra into the vines, making the base at his hands burst into flames, screaming out, "Kaiten. Correctin. Fire release. Dragon Flame Bullet," and whipping his hands in a circle backwards before throwing them in a circle forwards, whipping the fire jutsu across the top of the vines to the wooden spearheads. When the fire touches Gato's torso, his entire top half of body explodes into a bloody gore-filled mess as his guts and chunks of his flesh launch into the air away from his body. Matthias dispels his spears, making them recede back into his hands before disappearing once more. Looking back to everyone, Matthias just shrugs and walks forward towards his student and the other jonin. He walks over at Zabuza and smiles, happily taking Kubikiri Bacho off his back to hand back to him before Zabuza shakes his head, pushing the blade towards Matthias once more. "No, Kubikiri Bacho is yours now. Not even I could make Kinjutsu look like art as much as you have. Nor could I use her in such a perfect manner. I mean, seriously, juggling her in the air in the middle of your style, that's just amazing." Zabuza says, smiling underneath his bandages. "Thanks, I'll be sure to keep it safe and train Naruto in Kinjutsu with her. I've been meaning to teach him my Kinjutsu style dance of the Bloodied Saint. For a while now. Come on everyone, let's go home." Matthias says, leaving the area with Kubikiri Bacho latched to his back with chakra. The next week goes well for everyone involved. Tazuna finishes the bridge. Naruto had unlocked his last 2 Keki Genkai due to Sasuke's asshole nature and his friendship with Shino. Kushina got to help her son train in his Suiton and Doton affinities, as well as spend more time latched to him to try and learn all she could. Shino and Haku healed from their collective injuries and found they have a bit in common. Kiba got his rematch with Naruto only to lose at the end, like always, leaving Naruto ahead by 10 wins, with Kiba vowing to get better than his rival or at least on par with him. Kakashi reprimanded Sasuke and punished him for sacrificing a comrade in the heat of battle, while Sasuke just sticks by what he said on the bridge, with Sakura agreeing with her Sasuke-kun in an attempt to win his heart. At the end of the week, everyone in the village gathers at the bridge to see off the heroes of Wave. Teams 7 and 8 are lined up waiting as Matthias, Kushina and Naruto are talking Tsunami, Tazuna, and Inari. "But you really have to go, Naruto Nai-san?" Inari asks, trying not to cry. "Hey, it's okay to cry, Inari, don't worry. And yes, I have to go, but don't worry, I'll be back to visit you soon, okay?" Naruto says, patting Inari on the head. "I should hope so, mister. You're now a part of our family even if not related by blood." Tsunami says happily as she looks at Naruto. "Yeah, you're welcome in Wave anytime, Naruto. I'll happily let you stay with me and my family. Your sensei and mother are always welcome in my home." Tazuna says with a smile. "Alright Sachi, let's go, okay?" Kushina says, with Naruto nodding and heading out to meet it with the 2 other teams with his sensei and mother in tow. "So what do you think we should name the bridge?" a random villager says. "How about the Super Tazuna Bridge?" Tazuna says with a smile. "OG-san, that's a lame name." Inari says, making his grandfather sweat drop. "How about the Great Naruto Bridge in honor of the young man that gave our country hope once more?" Tsunami says with a smile as she watches Naruto's ass sway as he disappears in the distance. A resounding cheer from the villagers signifies that they love the name of the bridge. "Alright then, the Great Naruto Bridge it is." Tazuna says as the villagers once again cheer in approval. What if Naruto scares the council? My video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys in the next video.